mics.
Just get boom mics.
Just boom mics. I was gonna say he gonna have the boom with the wind filters on it. This must be a LA podcast.
Don't do that.
LA Troy.
Don't. There's no such thing as LA Troy. There's no such thing as LA Troy. We're not starting like this.
He gonna do the rooftop.
We're not. See, I was gonna say we're not starting like this. There's no LA.
You didn't record. That's
my bad. My bad.
And if there is a LA Troy, he a punk. I got punked for some Chipotle beans, but
we gonna tell that story later. That's a funny story.
But yeah, guys, we got Shadosha here.
Yeah, what's going on?
Do you want to go by your real name or do you want to go by your?
This is
Hanzo.
This is Hanzo 5K.
Oh my god.
Before Overwatch, right?
Yeah, before Overwatch. Don't get twisted now.
People should know that, I guess, because
you know how many times people in game be like, "Yo, you Hanzo? You a Hanzo me?"
I saw he posted that meme, you know that stupid meme that's going around. Like, oh, my name is this. Oh, you mean from this? I hate that. I hate memes in general, but that one.
That helicopter meme was pissing me the fuck off. I'm just dropping in to say no. Drop in and shut up. Get this fucking meme off my feed right now.
This is the problem when your special guests on your podcast are also your good friends. You just can't take anything seriously.
Yeah, this is just the homies podcast right now. We just cooling. It's fine.
So something that we didn't cover in the last episode that was like brought up, but I forgot to mention, was FaZe signed with Nissan.
Word.
I mean,
and it just shook it.
I mean,
we have video now, so they see you shaking your head.
Here's the thing. It's just I'm so tired of car companies like just signing with random things just to be like, we're in here, we're involved. The fuck does that have? What does that have to do with anything?
So did it make you mad when BMW signed with Cloud9?
Yeah. Oh my god. But why?
There's a politics behind it. I just don't remember it because I try to ignore everything in esports. But no, that's super common. It's like I'm not gonna call it a write-off, but like that placement, they get that back. That helps.
It's also the whole facade of gamers have all this money, so they think, oh, you have all this money, you're gonna use it on my product, but it's like actually I want to use it for my computer,
right,
and my games, not to purchase a fucking BMW or Mercedes-Benz. Nissan is more affordable, but.
That's what he's trying to get.
Do you?
Yeah. For
sure. Do you think people realize the facade that a lot of these orgs use with their players?
No.
Should we school them?
Yeah.
I can tell them I don't mind doing it. All right. So fun fact. A lot of these luxury vehicles and stuff y'all see people in, the companies are putting them in it. So like, I mean, okay, so some of them, at least in the Counter-Strike scene, probably can afford some of those Mercedes and Audis and junks like that, right?
I'm just gonna move this forward.
Go ahead, it's fine. Cause I am talking low. Yeah, they can afford some of that stuff, but most of the time, and this is with anything, they usually just put them in there. Like the company will give them to you. They don't cost them much, if anything, and it's great product placement. That's more eyes and yada yada. Like it's lifestyle marketing. I hope people know that. Like that's a real thing. I was we listened to the same podcast. It was a podcast we was listening to, and there's the same thing with like rappers and private jets. They don't own them jets. A company owns them jets. They just put them in the jets and say take pictures. There's 1 million+ people watching that. It looks good for the company. It's just all trying to get their money's worth from marketing.
I still think of the time that Bow Wow was like,
dog.
The fucking Bow Wow.
Remember when he
challenge,
takes the photo
shit.
when he's like in the private jet, and then somebody like Instagrammed him on like economy class,
right?
On like Delta or some shit.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with sitting in economy. Nothing.
That's how you save money.
For real. And there's nothing wrong with saving money. Like, yo, I swear to God, rap. We talking about rap on a gaming podcast, but still, because gamers do the same crap.
But they're in the same.
They're in the same realm.
They be buying alien wares for no reason. Like, you playing Minecraft, boy. Put that back.
What rap was in the 90s is what gaming is now. Yeah. It's the whole image and selling the lifestyle.
Do a PC setup to play Fortnite. Fool, if you don't get on your cell phone and stop playing, what you doing, bro?
This was a while ago when you brought up like how many gamers like have like fake Yeezys just to have the look of being of like
they think it's part of the uniform.
Sweatpants.
But I think
Yeezy first. It's not even sweatpants. It's jogger sweatpants.
Yeah, Yeezys and joggers,
like,
right?
It cuts down, so it's like oh man, why is fucking so skinny? Why is his leg so skinny? Oh, because he got the Yeezys on. You gotta show them off.
That's like the Hirachis on the bartenders. Sorry, I gotta say that reference. That's like the Hirachis on the bartenders. Yep.
Nah, but it's like what you're saying is so like with players. So like imagine if like a whole Overwatch League team or whatever shows up in a G-Wagon, people aren't going to comprehend like, oh shit, that's the company's G-Wagon. That's
Right.
not the individual player's G-Wagon.
First off, that's never gonna happen because Toyota sponsored the Overwatch League.
All right.
You
well,
saw that they
they sponsored the league, but not the
Wait,
teams.
also you saw that they like now also like Coke even signed on with them. Like Coca-Cola even now signed with the Overwatch League. I'm like, how many sponsorships do you guys need?
Oh, they need a
well,
lot.
that's where they're getting that
Yeah.
money from.
There ain't
Oh,
no money
yeah,
in
for
esports.
the
They
league
gotta get it from
structure.
the sponsors.
Because
Yeah.
you know Blizzard bleeding out now because they put
True.
all that money.
I don't think Blizzard's bleeding out actually. Look at how much they charge for the slots. That's money that they're getting back.
Yeah, but
being
the Call of Duty League still charging like $5 million more.
Yeah,
or
but think
whatever.
Okay, so I'm
but
about
think,
to
but
snitch.
think about this though, real quick. They're paying that much. They're paying the developer and the publisher that much to play in their league for a game that they created. Where did Blizzard lose money?
Also, keep
You know
in mind.
how much money they put into it.
Let me give y'all some insider information. Since I'm no longer under NDA and I don't give a damn. What's up? In regards to Call of Duty and Overwatch and them being franchised, both of them are owned by Blizzard. So when you pay for a slot in OWL, it's a package deal. You get the Blizzard, or you get the Call of Duty slot as well.
Well,
They come together.
they had what ESPN put out said they have first dibs, but they still got to pay the 25 mil.
They already paid it. They paid it as a part of the 50 that they put in for Overwatch. They already paid it. The only thing they have to do now is pay some facility fees, but that doesn't come up to 25 mil. That is true though. They still got to pay some
So it's-
other overhead, but it's
so
all
it's
part of
not-
the package deal.
So it wasn't 20 mil for the slot and then the 20 because what it was a 20 million buy-in for the Overwatch League slots, but apparently with Call of Duty franchise, it was 25 mil for the slot. They still have to pay the 25 mil, but they have the option to pick up
They have
first
first
rosters.
dibs.
25 mil might have been for season 1, but to get a slot into OWL and everything registered, you got to pay 50 mil. That's what I'm saying. Like they did that on purpose. They packaged that junk on purpose.
Which again,
Do it like that.
if you're the fucking craft organization, you got that kind of money.
Let me tell you why that's
Speaking
stupid
of-
though.
'cause we're
Let me tell you why
Boston.
that's stupid though. Like I'm gonna be all the way real right now. Like what these orgs are doing, and I've seen it, and I've called this out for a long time. This is another reason why I don't like trying to make money in esports. Like it's boring to me. It's all scams right now because it's still in its infancy and no one knows what's going on. But what a lot of these orgs are doing is like they heard something. They heard a murmur like this might be the future, and a lot of people are throwing pennies at it to see what happens right now.
Yeah.
That is what Robert Kraft is doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what everybody's doing. They're just throwing pennies at this thing because it picked up, and a lot of people don't understand how or why it picked up. A lot of people have a strange misconception about what esports and gaming is, and they're just doing dumb crap.
Well, it's the idea of like everyone thinks there's like everyone's got like a plan and like everything's set in motion. This is fucking lies. Everyone's just kind of just they're throwing a bunch of ideas at a dartboard and
For
then,
sure.
It's the
whichever
Wild
one-
West.
Whichever one sticks,
to
they're
that.
just like we're gonna run with this until it stops working, and then we're gonna throw more darts at the board and see
Yeah.
what sticks this time.
Yeah, I don't mind that. There's so many people out there, though, unfortunately, that don't have a plan, and these people are investing to the people who don't have a plan. Like they're just scamming, and it sucks because there are people in there that have a plan for esports and have a direction. It's just right now. Listen, let's real quick. Fortnite. Say something about Fortnite. That is not an esports game. It's just a game. It's a game that is popular. It's a pop culture game. But for some reason, people keep correlating esports with that because of Ninja's background with MLG and all that stuff, and a lot of other people.
Epic has already come out and pretty much like made it clear. Like they don't have to state it, but they've made it clear. Like we're not trying to be competitive. We're
Fam,
trying
the
to get
skirmishes
people,
are to
everyone to play
pay
this.
taxes. I can't explain that enough to people. The skirmishes, they make too much money in a month. They're gonna get in trouble. They're gonna get audited. They have to do something with it. They make way too much. I got a homie that built 2 houses because he had to get rid of some money.
So you think like I'm gonna say focus on the car companies because that's like
Yeah, my
kind of
bad.
where
Go
we
ahead.
started it.
Yeah.
Do you think like that's what car companies are doing, kind of using it as a payoff, or do you think they're really trying to market toward a younger audience?
A little bit of both. I mean, it depends on the company.
Well,
Like,
I think you also have to look at it like majority of your pro players, like what's the age that they're eligible to play. Also, what age are they eligible to drive? Like,
that's part of it.
it's
That is
you know
one
what?
part
we
of
could give
it.
like cars and shit to our players because now they're of age, and then it inspires like younger gamers. Like, oh shit, when I'm of age, like when I turn 17, 18, whatever, I'm gonna be a pro gamer.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have a Mercedes.
Yeah,
Like,
part
it's
of it.
like-
I was gonna say that's part one, right? Like I do see a company like Mercedes doing that, and pitch into that lifestyle. That makes logical sense. But a company like Toyota, who makes cars that are affordable to that demographic, they are actually trying to sell cars.
I think also at the same token, we're still caught up in the idea that esports can be like regular sports. So it's like yeah, man, what are like regular sports athletes like? And I think that's the mentality sometimes behind those car
That's
companies.
the scam.
Like
yeah.
the luxury thing. It's like, oh fuck, like our luxury, like we give like our players luxury cars and stuff like that, and like that might work with esports too if we just give players like luxury cars to sell that lifestyle. And
Right.
I think it's the idea of like them trying to be like, oh, you can have that lifestyle too.
Right.
Even if you're not an athlete, you're like an esports athlete, but you can still have the same lifestyle.
Companies have been doing that forever.
I think also like we were saying
I think it's gonna fail, but
in one of the previous episodes that you can check out on Spotify or iTunes.
Look at the plug. Oh, snap.
you can't. That's like sucking your own dick. You can't do that.
I'm mad he whispered
No,
it,
that's
though.
not-
Like, you're
that's just
supposed to
not-
hard sell. Go ahead.
Anyway, like we were saying in a previous episode, how like the mainstream is bleeding into, or gaming has become mainstream. I think it's the people that are outside of gaming are now like, all right, what worked in the mainstream? What works in mainstream sports and entertainment? All right, we just need to, if we throw that onto esports, again, it's new, like no one has it figured out. If we just throw it to them, they're going to feed it and like we can manipulate it and make it work for us because it's worked here.
No one can say we're wrong.
Yeah, no one can
Alright.
say like, we can't do that.
I have something to say about that, too, because I agree. That is the case. The sad part is the wrong people are doing that throwing.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is a lot, right? All right. We, at least people my age, I have no shame saying it. I'm not
50
in my
years old.
20s anymore. I'm 30. Shut up.
You're not 30.
I'm 30.
You're not 30. You're 37.
Bro, your walker's right there. No.
All right, I'm a part of that age group where I got to see. I got a chance to see both sides of a certain spectrum. Like I know what the old like, and I'm part of that traditional hardworking OG lifestyle before the internet, before computers, in a sense, right? Like they weren't commonplace in like the early '90s, late '80s, yada yada, and the new age where everything's at your fingertips, everything can be questioned. There's really no stability. It's kind of the Wild West right now, and there's a lot of technology involved, right? These old dudes with the hard work ethic, they're trying to, they see this new thing and it's booming and they want to capitalize on it with all of their know-how from back in the day to an audience that doesn't know what the hell these guys are doing. And I'm somewhere stuck in the middle. The people that should be running that operation and kind of getting this stuff running is my generation, the people in the middle. Because they understand the work ethic and the mind of the people who can actually build something, which was the OG, the realm and shit like that. And the new folk that just want to go buck wild and play stuff, you can't hard sell to them. Like, it doesn't work with them. You know what I'm saying? And they don't kind of understand that, and it's just frustrating because the old heads don't want to trust the people that are bridging the gap.
Do you think that people that we would consider like OGs within gaming, and they're probably going to hate that I'm about to say this, but do you think that they're afraid, or do you think that it's the people that are coming in with money having so much power over people that are blind, like who've never seen this amount of money before within gaming?
Well, no, I can't say the OGs in gaming are the issue in a sense, but I'm also going to say this. The OGs in gaming are cashing out right now. They're building orgs and selling it. They're the ones, they're collecting their mills and saying, yo, I'm too old for this. I'm peacing out.
Well, I mean, you look at like Optic Gaming with like they got like Houston Outlaws, they have like all their other teams and shit like that. Like they're just like, all right, I'm just making this and then I'm just making money off of it. That's it.
Right.
They're doing it. They're not like trying to like push some other agenda. They're just trying to make money.
Right. But and that's an example. They cashed out. There's no forward pushing agenda. They gave it to whatever company investment group owns them now, and they let them run it. Those are some old. I'm not gonna call them baby boomers. They old heads, 50 plus. You know what I'm saying? They did that hard work. They understand how that stuff works. Same with I just left Splice. Same thing. Overactive Media bought it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They old heads. They don't really know the space. They talk like they know the space, but they just know the old school stuff, and they want to do that stuff. Meanwhile, Mari cashed out. A lot of people cashed out. Envious, another example. They got all of those teams, which is great. They cashed out, so they're not the issue. The issue is, and it's not a fear. It's a stubbornness. These are people that say, I've been around this many years. I noticed that shit changes. Technology changes. This is not the same era. Things work differently. You got to market and sell stuff differently. They don't understand that. Or rather, maybe they do understand that, but they feel like they could just do it themselves. They don't really want to put somebody in a position of power where they lose that nepotism they might have, unless it's one of their own. And they don't got one because they wasn't raised in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're throwing money around and acting like they're in control of stuff because they feel like they've seen it before, and they're missing the ball, or they're not even seeing that they're getting scammed right now. They don't see it. So like, it's not really that. It's just the people that should be in control is the generation in between, and the old heads don't want to give it to them. And the young heads are not ready. They're not prepared to deal with that kind of structure and do something with it yet.
I mean, do you feel like we're like, this is like, it's a balloon and eventually it's gonna pop?
Hell yeah.
And then we're gonna go back to
That's
like
where
how
I was
esports
actually
was
leading.
Of course it
before,
is.
back in the day.
Because so I was listening to the Business of Esports podcast on my way over here, and a good question that they asked. Hey, look, just because I like to be educated, don't make me a nerd. Or actually, does that make you? A nerd?
That's
That's
probably the
fuck-
definition of a nerd.
Fucking get
Fuck
out.
you guys, man. All right, anyway, they asked the question of: is esports a bubble, or is it currently in its booming stage?
I think it's a bubble. I think it's gonna keep growing.
I'm with you.
until
I think it's a
eventually
bubble as
gonna
well.
pop.
Right now, it's a bubble. Now I'm going to say this because this is what I truly
I think we're
believe.
past the booming, honestly. Not to
I
cut
don't
you
think.
off.
Okay, so I mean, listen, it's gonna go in phases like gaming did. Video games had a crash. Remember?
Yeah.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it. There was a bubble and a crash.
Yeah.
The same thing's gonna happen with esports. But what I believe is gonna happen is we're getting to the point where the right people that should be winning are starting to win. It's gonna happen. People that actually care about the space, people that may only know this space, and now have the luxury or at least the resources to do some research. And they're gonna want to build something and make something of it. There's gonna be a pioneer in that atmosphere that's gonna do something. Then we're gonna start to see that growing. But
Well,
right now we're in the bubble phase. It's going hot. It's gonna pop. Then it's gonna really rock.
Well, that's why I said I feel like the boom is essentially over, and like it's now the bubble phases, because it's like the boom was like when T Squared and them were coming up, where
I
they
call
were,
it the pre-boom, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah. Or the initial boom,
The initial
essentially,
boom,
like
yeah.
where players are getting on Dr. Pepper, and you first start seeing these small people that are like, I'm not making a fuck ton of money from gaming, but there's money to be made here.
And these dudes is robbing them too. Those sponsors
Yeah,
are
yeah.
robbing them too because they don't know their worth.
Yeah,
But nobody knows because they don't know the space.
Yeah.
exactly. And I feel like that's where the boom, and like you said, the people that are now in the middle kind of area have now learned, and they're like, oh, okay. So like
Right.
when the bubble pops, they'll know what to do and how to handle those
Yeah.
situation. But everyone else, and investors included, are going to be like, oh fuck, we lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I was watching something, and they were talking about Coca-Cola and how they spend their advertising money.
Mm.
And apparently there's no like structure to it. Like apparently no one oversees like where certain money goes. So like I forgot what they were asking them about the investment was, but it was pretty much like, how much money did Coca-Cola put into this? And they were like 50,000. And they were like, but no one at the company asked about, hey, where did this 50,000 go? They were like,
Right.
no. And I feel like that's what's happening with a lot of gaming stuff. Again, with Nissan signing with FaZe,
Yeah.
Cloud9 signing with Mercedes or BMW.
It's
Those companies are just like, here's 100,000.
Yeah, it's
here's
the-
a car.
well,
Yeah.
It's the idea of like it's like someone walks into a room. They're like, "Hey man, you want to do this thing real quick?" Yeah, that sounds cool. And then like 3 months later, they're like, "Yo, where did all that money go? Oh, we put in that thing.
Right.
Oh yeah, how's that doing? I don't know.
I'm a snitch on myself. That's how I got paid like that. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's what
They were just like-
all them nice ass cars people was throwing money and didn't know where. But I will tell you this from experience: a lot of companies do not know what they are selling, or what they're buying. They don't know either one. They don't know what they're buying or selling.
This is actually a good. We brought this up like episode 1. What do you, in your opinion,
Mhm.
you've worked in esports, you've worked organizations,
I don't know why.
you've
Hate
done
esports.
it all at this point.
Ugh.
How do you feel? What is the
I'm
end
gonna kick
game
him off
for
the
a lot of
esports
these?
podcast.
Not. Let's just say for now, what is in your opinion? What's the end game for streamers? Where do you see them being? Let's just say
Oh, a
that's-
streamer retirement.
I can't answer that question as the average streamer because I thought way beyond that personally. But that's funny that y'all brought that up because I asked that question on Twitter. A lot of these streamers think that they're gonna get they're gonna get partnered, and then all of a sudden they're gonna generate revenue. For some reason, they think they're gonna be young forever or good at video games forever.
or entertaining.
And they don't realize that the only thing keeping them afloat is the survivability of Twitch. If Twitch dies, where do they go next?
Mixer.
Funny, right?
But, that's the
But
thing,
see how people are depending on
but it's like,
streaming
how
to keep
many-
themselves
how
alive.
many streaming platforms are you gonna have before you're like, I gotta find
We
my own
only
thing?
have
How long are they going to realize that their dependency on surviving is a streaming app?
Hey man, let's just not forget Chatterbait's a thing. Okay, they can always go.
And,
over
and
there.
they're doing that too.
Get the fuck out.
They're doing that too. You was the one that put me onto that nasty. What's that crap you put me onto?
I'm like,
Oh no! There's a subreddit for like streamers.
Oh,
You
going
know,
wild
you
and
know how
shit.
many of my
About that.
listen. I had to scrub my stuff because I see way too many of my friends on there. But it proved the point I was trying to make. A lot of these guys don't have an immediate game plan.
I mean, it's the idea of like when you got girls who are like, yeah, buy my private Snapchat and shit. Like, how long can you make that go for?
At some point,
Until
your
the
titty's
IR
gonna be wrinkly. I'm
Or-
gonna keep it real.
Or until the IRS get them. The IRS are coming for them.
Someone's gonna snitch on them.
No, they make
Someone
they
gonna
pay their
rat.
taxes.
No, they nah.
I'm
No,
defending sex workers.
No.
A lot of them do their shit.
no, you can defend sex workers. I'm talking
Are
about
you
Twitch streamers.
are you a sex worker if you're only like people only paying for your Snapchat?
Technically, yeah, you're selling sexual content.
Besides that
Wait,
point, because y'all
we
get
let
relaxed.
it
All right,
die.
relax. Okay, so
Yeah,
no,
sorry. I was curious.
So let me tell. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with what my game plan was because I am a Twitch partner, but I never saw that as an initial source of income. At this point, I'm just using it because my girlfriend likes to go shopping now. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to get into a new outfit or something. Fam, I don't want to depend on any one source for income.
You just can't. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't work. If it dies, you die.
Yeah.
I like streaming. It's a lot of fun. But if you don't expand within that realm and create something different, it's not going to last from you. For what I do personally, I've always been a fan of producing and directing. I've always wanted to start a media group and a media company. You've known me the longest in this room. So you second, you third. But if there's one thing we all have in common, that you all have in common in what I say, I always keep saying, I want my own TV show. I want my own production. I want that. The reason being, at some point, the age group, like we're fortunate because, like I said, I'm at the tail end. Like I'm still young enough to be hit with everybody else.
But you get the senior citizen discount at the movie theater.
For sure. Big facts, right? Like I get a chance to kind of indulge in both. So I get that luxury of still being that good gamer and still being able to, but I also get to think like an old head. So when I tell them like, you might want to look into producer roles, maybe. Like I love the fact that these YouTubers and Vine people nowadays, they're getting on TV shows. Freaking Superwoman is now about to host.
She's the first non-white, heterosexual woman
Yeah.
who has her own late night talk show.
That's
That's amazing.
That's dope. And a lot of these streamers, I'm hoping come to that realization soon. But right now they're not there. So to answer your question, what they're doing, this for them is the end. Get the partner button. Get a lot of people subbing and just play games all day.
I mean, how do you feel about how do you feel about Ninja like starting his own like clothing brand? Well, sort of.
But
like,
that's-
He
a
had.
collaboration.
Let me be clear for a second. Shout outs to Jessica. Jess is my homegirl. I actually wouldn't even be popping if it wasn't for a lot of them, including Jess. I'm gonna just keep that a buck. I met Jessica, Jay Ghosty. That's the homie. She early in the game had something to say about having an advisor. I love what Ninja and the rest of them are doing because as soon as they got on, Jess was the first one to make phone calls and seek advisors. What can I do with all of this money? What can we do with this impact that we have now? How can we transition it? How can we keep this revenue flowing and bring it in from different places? You don't always have to play Fortnite.
Now that you brought that up, though, I just thought about it. The clothing thing can only last, or the merchandising can only last, but so long.
Yes,
Because I feel like with
But I
the
feel like-
fame of streaming, when that dies out,
But
they're not going to want to buy your
If you
product.
could turn it into something else besides that starts branching off from just gaming and stuff, if you could turn it into a lifestyle brand, like imagine if like Levi Jeans like started off as like some fucking little project company for like some random dude and it's like and it was just like a side shit or he used to do something and then he was like, hey, buy my jeans, they're Levi's, and then suddenly like he dropped the gaming shit or whatever and all of a sudden it's like I just own Levi jeans. If you could transition that into something, I think it would be it's a plausible
but
thing.
like-
I think Red Bull is going to allow him to do that.
See, but
Let me
but,
just say
but,
that.
but he's different because we're talking about the average streamer, right? So their idea of merchandising is I have to do this to get more viewers.
Yeah.
It's not it's not like Nate Shaw with the 100 Thieves. I want to be a streetwear clothing brand.
Yeah.
And then also branch into esports. Everyone else is doing it because they
They
see
need it. They need it.
It's the initial
or
platform. I'll say
it's a sign of like sustainability. Like,
Yeah.
oh, if I sell a shirt, then I can continue to live versus I want to like make merchandise and clothing
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
and like be passionate about it. And
I mean,
not
like
just-
Meta used to be just like, well, like jerseys and shit. Now they have like lifestyle clothing brands and shit.
You have to.
Like you go by their booth right now at PAX East, which by the way we're at Boston. Shout out.
Hey.
And you
People
go by,
can't drive out here.
and you go out to
Beat.
and you go to their booth and it's like half their shit isn't even like 2 years ago they were selling like jerseys and shit. This
Yeah.
year it's like lifestyle clothing and like parkas and like windbreakers and shit. Which by the way, Meta, send me some shit.
Meta owed me a
wish.
backpack.
I
But we
wish.
ain't gonna talk about that. So I will say this. I agree with you. First off, let's get two things straight. Number one, there's too niche of an audiences to sell jerseys. And number two, jerseys look ugly in esports. They're trash. All of them.
They're
All of them.
They're paintball jerseys.
They
or-
suck.
First off,
I don't care.
I find that really
No.
offensive.
Trash.
Because I just bought a Guangzhou Spark jersey and it's pink and blue.
Burn it. Well, it's pink and blue, so that's fuego.
like-
But I don't like. I don't like the. I just know I don't like the design of the actual shirt itself. I don't like. It just looks
It's a sports jersey.
awkwardly cliche. It looks
This is
generic in a
cliche.
sense. It doesn't look stylish like a soccer jersey. Those look stylish. There was a point in time where basketball jerseys looked stylish. There was a style to it, and even then, like NBA.
Tell us about the late 80s.
All right, I'm throwing
Hey,
one of
he-
y'all.
He gonna kick your ass.
One of y'all get thrown. Like, I still work out, you know what I'm saying? I'll gain weight, but there's a little muscle here. I'll throw you, boy. Alright, so but no, like
esports jerseys are like bowling jerseys. There's no style.
there's no style.
Yeah, I don't know what the
Trust me,
fuck
as-
you're talking
as-
about.
as-
You would definitely rock a bowling button up.
He has
I had a jersey. I had my
He used to
school
play.
jersey.
He used to bowl.
I bowled in the league, and like it wasn't stylish. It wasn't.
But were you there to be stylish or were you there to bowl?
I was there to bowl, but then again, we still had to like.
We here
But
to
that
play
goes
games.
that still goes to my point with what I was saying in regards to like selling clothing. That's a niche audience that's there to game.
And in all
what I'm saying?
honesty, I think a lot of the people who are coming into gaming from streetwear and like shoe heads are only coming in because gaming is popular.
There's a lifestyle there though. That's why I'm glad I see them at stuff like ComplexCon now.
See what? Games?
Gaming.
Yeah, but
brands.
I think people are. I think the gaming lifestyle. There's
Right.
a vision of gaming lifestyle that's being forced. It
Oh,
wasn't
no, I
like
know it
it was.
is.
It's
Yeah,
not genuine.
I mean, it's you really want the original genuine like
The sweaty nerd. Say it. The
yeah,
sweaty nerd.
You really want people being like.
I'm not saying that's
and
like that's
the
what
thing,
I
think
want,
now
but
we're all trying
No,
to
that's
like
what it is.
That's why everyone's trying to transition and make it no longer about like the sweaty dudes and be like, oh no, we're not that anymore. And it's like you gotta be okay with being that.
Hey, yo,
before you're okay with being other things.
Hey, yo, brands, check this out.
No, be okay with your
Check this
roots.
out. We're in Boston right now. If you're a brand out there, Google PAX, Penny Arcade Expo. Just look at pictures, and you're gonna be shocked to find out how many people look like the thing that you used to pick on back in the day. That's the majority, and there's way more of those out there than people that look like me. So
that's
you
what I
marketing
always
to the
fucking
wrong
get at.
person. Like, I mean, look, I'm cool and I can sell the lifestyle, but my objective is always to connect people to the sweaty stank nerd. I know what it's like to play and fucking I smell like shorty shit staying on the couch because I really want to speed run Final Fantasy 9. I know what that's about. You know what I'm saying?
What?
That's the gamer that really exists as compared to the one that y'all think happens is the one that plays Fortnite on their phone and does the shoot dance outside. First off, you said outside. Then not a lot of them go outside.
It's like what you were saying. I think the first episode where you were like,
Real talk.
"Fuck." What did you say on the first episode?
I said a lot of shit.
He gonna
said-
take it. They gonna get back to him.
Yeah, I can't.
No, but like that's the thing. Like if you like listen, like I dress nice now. I dress like whatever.
We
I'm
got
all-
money now.
Like I got,
That's what it was. It was.
like,
it
I'm
was
all about that now. But guess what? When I was fucking like 15 years old, I was staying up till 6 in the morning. I haven't showered in 24 hours because I was trying to beat Legend of Dragoon.
Fam,
for like
I
the eighth
still
time.
do that,
Like-
and I have a little bit of sex
like,
appeal now.
No, and
I still do
I
it.
still
No,
do it.
that's
I
what-
still
that's
do
what
that.
you- that's what you were saying in the
got
first
me get
episode.
When I'm off and like I'll be like, someone will come in my room. They're like, when was the last time you ate? I'm like, I don't fucking
I don't
know.
know.
I'm wearing like
I know, yeah.
I'm wearing a 5XL shirt that used to be mad tight on me, but now it fucking looks like a fucking blanket. But like still, I'm wearing that shit. I haven't showered in like a day or so.
Right.
Like fucking, I'm still that.
That's what you were saying on the first episode. You were saying that the image of gamers are changing, but people think that it's like, oh, instead of it changing for, hey, you should shower, you should make yourself appealing, or just take care of your cleanliness. Everyone's like, it's going above and beyond. It's like, I have to fucking have Yeezys. I have to be like
Yep.
into clothing. If I don't have this shit, then I'm not a gamer. And it's like
I got
what?
nothing wrong with like being okay with hygiene and stuff like that. Like, yeah, do that. So what? You a little overweight. I don't give a fuck. But at the same time, it's like you don't have to be. You don't gotta transition and be
You gotta
like
force
a
yourself into that
superstar and like
realm.
dress
Yeah.
like that and like wear the Yeezys and like
Yeah.
wear like the fucking expensive ass bomber.
True.
As I'm wearing, yeah, I feel like an asshole. But like that's my own style. But like you don't have to do that to be a gamer. And the problem is now like you got all these people being like, well, that's the gamer I want.
You don't
What
have-
if he's not a real gamer? What if he's just for some asshole who never fucking touched a game
I'm
in
gonna
his
make
life?
a point after Hanzo says what he has to say.
Go for it.
That goes to what you were about to say.
You don't have to copy somebody else's style to make it yours. You know, just be your own style. My style is just anything airsoft related, anything gun related, anything gaming related.
So,
I just wear it.
so to that point, I want to make this clear because a lot of people have an odd depiction of what's really happening. The stuff that's being created isn't stuff that's marketed to gaming. It's stuff that's marketed to pop culture. Once you identify that, you don't get mad anymore. Period. With anything, with everything. As a matter of fact.
No, I'm gonna get mad.
Well, I mean, okay, no. So, all right.
That's true.
So, no, people will get mad because they feel like they're being infiltrated, and that's exactly what's happening. But I just want to make this clear. Besides the fact that this is a phase, the real ones know.
Yeah. Well,
The real ones know.
this is a point I'm about to make, and it's gonna sound kind of fucked up, but like,
I'm here to mooch off the pop culture.
But
I'm
like-
here to rob them.
but like pop culture
fun.
shit, stuff that's made for pop culture and shit like that. What's and it's gonna sound kind of fucked up, but like,
Mhm.
what's the biggest size that you got?
Pop culture.
Yeah, for like pop culture shit, like like these companies and stuff. If they were really about
I see where
marketing
you're
to
going.
people,
Yeah.
if they were really about marketing for people like that, they would like be inclusive. For
Well, they're not.
everyone.
Well, I mean, I'll say.
That's why we have outrage marketing now.
Yeah, I mean, like you could look at like right now, like look at Uniqlo. Uniqlo's doing a collab with like
Street Fighter.
with I was gonna say with Gundam,
Yeah,
but like
they
you
do
go
it.
to their
They're
store,
doing it.
Sesame Street.
What's the biggest size they got? Maybe a large, probably a medium.
The only thing I buy
Like
at
it's not
Uniqlo,
inclusive at all.
for sure. The only thing I buy at Uniqlo is those. I got it on right now. The
Keep
thermal
wearing
joints, the thermal shirts. That's all I got. That's
We're
all
not-
I ever get.
We're not sponsored by them yet, so
Oh
like,
my bad.
He said yet.
hey, you never know.
So I'm gonna just make fake names like Undercook. All right, we gonna do. The only thing I got from Undercook is this shirt, bruh.
No, I don't give a shit.
So,
But, that's
what-
what I'm saying. If you were really like trying to be about gaming culture and about just like the lifestyle and
They're
nerdy
not.
culture, you would be inclusive.
They're
and
not.
And that's the way I look at it.
Well, ironically enough, I'm gonna just say this real quick and I'll let you speak. Yo, ironically enough, what I gotta emphasize this enough. Gaming, in a sense, didn't grow. Pop culture just got attached to gaming temporarily. So it's please understand that. That's why I keep saying go to PAX or an event like PAX, so you can really see who the gamers are. Because pop culture's not at PAX. Some Twitch streamers are because they want to act cool. And that's a really tiny audience. Like they're
Nah, leave
pandering
that shit
to
for
each
Twitch,
other.
though.
Yeah, it's just.
But if you look at the common person that you're gonna bump shoulders with those tens of thousands of people at PAX don't look like the people that are being marketed towards in this esports / whatever realm. That's why I'm not a big fan of it. Like I'm a fan of like gaming and stuff as a sweaty nerd, but as a person that sees what's going on in pop culture, I don't give a damn about that because I know what that is. That's not what we know. It's just not. It's something completely different, and I can relate because I look like the pop culture thing, but I know where I came from. Straight up. That just happened because I got tired of my titties. I had to get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? They back now, don't look. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's it.
Oh, they was calling you talking for real.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked up.
I'm bigger than you. Well, not as tall, but you know what I'm saying? I was a planet. All right, next topic. Go ahead.
Okay.
Face.
So, with all that being said, do y'all think GameStop are sellouts because of what they're doing? Which is, they recently partnered with Complexity to build a performance center. They recently partnered with Team Envy and Dallas Fuel to build gaming clinics.
Well, fucking
No.
Motherfucker, we ain't sick. I know that's not what, like,
Well, you
He's
also
sick.
got like Fusion, like Philadelphia Fusion's making like an arena called Fusion Arena and shit like that.
but that's different. That's the org building that. We're talking about
No, but they're doing it. But
GameStop.
they're also like they're teaming up with other people to build it.
To answer your question.
Yeah, but I mean,
Do we really need an arena for like?
what I'm
like,
saying
I know
is,
we got the Blizzard Arena, but do
We
we
don't
need
need-
like?
Let me tell you something
Arenas
straight up.
everywhere.
We don't need any of that crap. All of this is an objective to bleed the people who don't know the space. I keep saying that. Well, that's what I believe. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But all of that is fam, none of these gaming genuinely is not big enough for this league to need. First off, how are you gonna find the funds for that to fly? Like
Yeah.
NBA generates a ton. I'm bringing up
That's what we
like
talked about
traditional sport.
on the previous
They
episode.
generate tons of money so they can afford to have a local team and all of these resources in their team
Yep.
and get a city to support them. The impact there is big enough. It's not big enough for Overwatch.
Overwatch
Overwatch
isn't
is
that big of-
it just doesn't, and that's not gonna happen until Overwatch is a game that can be watched. First off, I
It's not
can
like we're
follow
having,
it.
Like, shows after the games where we're talking analytical talks about players, how they're doing,
And that's
It's not
still
like-
over a lot of people's heads.
But you could follow. You know what it is? You could follow Overwatch because you're a gamer and you
Right.
play. It's not like an average person could walk to a Yankees game and be like, "I don't fucking follow sports," but at least they kind of know what's happening. They
Right.
at least know Team A is beating whatever.
Same with football.
Yeah,
You
can
don't have
follow
to know
be
the
like,
plays. You just know when somebody's about to throw the ball, someone's gonna catch it. There's a start, a middle, and a finish.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to follow. You can't do that in Overwatch. But to get back to your point, GameStop building all those things, I don't think that's selling out because GameStop
Well,
has a business to run.
I think sellout was the wrong. I think I used the wrong word. I don't
Mhm.
think I should have used sellout. I think I should have used the word trying or the wording of trying to survive
Well,
because people aren't.
like
A lot of people aren't physically going to buy games anymore.
like sustainability.
Yeah, like GameStop has been dead for a minute. Like
true.
people.
You only go there for Funko Pops now.
Yeah, people-
you're right. Yo, you're right.
We used to have
I
merch
just thought
stores-
about
We
that.
used to have merch stores for Dinky.
The last
Pe-
time I went to GameStop, I bought cereal, bro. I'm
Yeah,
trash, yo. What am I
Did you
doing?
buy? Did you buy Lucio's?
Bro, the Cuphead joints.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
god.
black
First
one.
off, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
Lucio's are fucking delicious.
They dope. I had them at we had them at where we had some
TwitchCon, I feel like.
TwitchCon, yes. Yes.
Because my roommate got a whole box of them, and like every now and then I just go and I'm like, let me get a handful of those Lucio's, and he's like, I'm like, these are mad good.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to
But-
Lucio's.
It's outside of the collectible stuff like that. People aren't waking up going to GameStop to buy games.
No.
They're
You don't go to
ordering it through
GameStop.
Amazon or
Not
digitally
even
download.
Part of GameStop is Dinky. Even though they're both
Yeah.
under the same like parent.
Yeah.
company.
There might be I was gonna say it might be a partnership or that, like
Yeah.
what you
So
just said.
so
but
do
yeah.
you think even though it's gaming as a whole that's blown up, but with this weird focus of esports is what sells them, do you think that GameStop is like, oh snap, we've been dying, we need to reach out to this to kind of get our footing back within the gaming world?
I feel like you'll have a tried and true answer to that question once you see them either partner up or sell themselves to somebody like Amazon.
Yeah.
Which I think is coming next.
So they might get blown up.
I genuinely believe there's going to be a point in time where people aren't going out to buy consoles anymore. Like that's the only thing really keeping them afloat. They
mean,
have some
like,
physicals to sell.
I mean, how?
try it again.
Where'd you get what was the last console? Where'd you get it? Did you buy it at a GameStop? Did you
No.
buy it? Did you just order it?
I
I
ordered
ordered
it.
my Switch off Amazon.
I ordered my.
I ordered my
Yeah.
laptop off Amazon. Yeah.
Actually, the last one I bought was the Xbox One, and I bought it at GameStop because I was working there. That was the only reason I got it.
Right.
I bought
I'm-
a PS4 at Best Buy. My PC parts come from. Well, my case came from Amazon.
Well, I'm ratchet, so I bought mine from.
You better not say Tiger Direct.
No, that's disgusting, actually.
Micro sense.
And it's what is it called now? It's called Rakuten. Anyway,
That sounds
yeah,
disgusting.
Rakuten. I didn't buy it from there. No, I got it from Best Buy because I needed to get a TV to go with it.
I mean, also if you think about it, also, GameStop. The problem is that GameStop back in the day was the place to go.
For sure.
You want a shit, you go. But now you got places like Best Buy and like even fucking
it's
Target.
like-
You could go anywhere now and get shit that GameStop has, but also you could get more. That's the problem.
Yeah, they think
And
those
then-
exclusives is gonna like.
And then
hold them
GameStop
over.
tried. They'd be like, "Oh, you could get a used iPod here too." The motherfucker, I could go get a new iPod for the same price at Best Buy,
For sure.
and it comes with a $50 iTunes
sure.
gift card.
for
And
sure.
insurance.
I don't think it was just the fact that like you could buy other stuff though that's surrounding it. I think it was more of the like digital downloads. I think once that popped up,
Yeah.
that's what like
Well, and I think also the idea of like every major gaming system now having like an online store where like you pay and you get free
Yeah.
games and you
Yeah,
like
it's not like
you got the
before where
Xbox
you
monthly
had to-
pass where you get free games every
Yeah.
month.
Right.
You got the PS4 shit where you get free games every month, and like that kills like, and it's the idea of it's the idea of also when Amazon was killing brick and mortar stores. It's like you
Still
can get
is,
you can
yeah.
get Nanny and Poppy shit, or you just get free 2-day Amazon Prime. You get the same shit.
Right.
So with GameStop like trying to invest in esports, partnering with Complexity and like Team MVS, are we gonna see a transition of GameStop being from we just sell games to now we sell all your esports, we sell jerseys, we sell like how you guys were saying, like you go there for the collectibles and the merchandise.
I think they're gonna try.
That falls along the lines of the collectibles and the merchandise.
Because
Yeah, I think they're gonna try, and I definitely think they're gonna. I think they're gonna backscale their game stuff.
well they already, even though this makes no
They're
sense.
just gonna drop their game. They're gonna drop game from GameStop. It's just called Stop.
Well
It's like
apparently
Dunkin' dropping Dunkin' Donuts.
Stop now.
apparently GameStop has planned on stop selling digital codes.
No.
No, like no, it was like a news like they're gonna stop selling the digital, or excuse me, Sony is no longer gonna be sending GameStop digital
Codes.
like codes for the
Because
game.
they
So-
have their own market now.
and my thing is just like,
Their own store. Why? Like,
why were y'all even still wasting money to print cards to send them
Yeah.
digital games?
I mean, they wanted the option available, but I
I
mean,
never- I always-
that's a good sign of the times. If PlayStation is saying we don't need GameStop, that means chances are people aren't really going to GameStop. And again, the only thing GameStop has to offer is GameStop exclusives.
Well, back
with
in the,
games.
again, back in the day, this is how these companies got their shit across. Is through GameStop. Through
Yeah.
if you remember Funko Land,
Remember Funko Land?
Fuck
Which
it.
is GameStop.
which became GameStop.
I just realized that
EB Games, which became GameStop.
I've been traveling in and out of Canada. Canada doesn't really have a GameStop. Well, they do.
They
But
got
they
Funko.
still call it Funko Land.
They
It
got
blew my
Funko
mind. I was like, oh snap, y'all got a Funko Land?
And they
I
got
thought
like
it was
the,
dead.
they still got like the wild like 90s graphic for Funko Land. And
Yeah.
you go up, you're like, what the fuck?
It felt
And you
good. I
think
was
it's
like, yo,
gonna-
y'all got bad bitches too? What's
You
poppin'?
think it's gonna be like
That's
ancient as
aged
I
shit?
thought
You walk in
look
off
for
and it's just
games.
GameStop and you're like,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
was hyped.
GameStop with a different name.
I was
You're
like, yo,
like,
y'all got Radio Shacks?
No.
Boy.
you guys got the Wiz?
Circuit City. You got Circuit
Dog.
City.
You remember the Wiz in
All right,
Circuit
y'all
City?
doing way too much reminiscing. So pretty much GameStop is either what, gonna die or turn into the brick and mortar for esports jerseys.
They're gonna die. Even if they turn into a brick and mortar for each.
Because then eventually, like, Amazon's gonna be like, hey, we got that shit too.
They're gonna. I don't think they'll. They may file for bankruptcy, but I feel like they'll sell before they do that. I don't know who they would sell
Who's
to.
gonna buy them?
I don't know.
Amazon.
That's what I'm saying.
I think Amazon will.
Amazon buy everybody. Just like Disney.
What if Amazon buys them and turns them into the Amazon stores, like how they did the thing where you can just walk in, grab something, and walk
That
out, and then
literally
charge
would
your
not
Amazon
surprise
account?
me.
Or like Amazon, how they bought Borders, and now you go like every Borders in
Oh,
New
yeah,
York
yeah,
City
yeah.
is now it's like literally Amazon Books.
Yeah.
Which by the
But
way,
okay,
shout out
see,
to Amazon Books.
my
I love you.
question is what would they really be buying? And this is what I see. I always pay attention to stuff like this. They wouldn't be buying GameStop for GameStop's business model and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, they're gonna change it.
For sure. They would be buying GameStop for they want that mailing list.
Yes. Because
If they buy it, they want the mailing list because they have a guaranteed idea of the type of people they can market stuff like Twitch to.
Well, yeah, you take all those power. He's like, hey, it's like all these power up rewards people. You'd be like, hey, listen, I know we bought out GameStop, and you don't really have power up rewards one, but now you got our shit.
Right,
Like, yeah.
easily
Yeah,
just
it's usually-
pound them with that.
Yeah, 'cause,
For sure.
GameStop employees have to upsell subscriptions.
And most of them do.
And they,
There's a ton of them. There's a lot of them. But now
it's such a big mailing
you
list.
have a
I hated
dedicated
that
list.
You got a GameStop power up card?
Sure,
No.
you know,
You want
I-
one?
I hated
I'm
that
good.
shit.
Are you sure? No, I'm really good. Buy the fucking power up card. Fine, I'll buy the power up card. Like,
You want to subscribe to Game Informer?
I'll let you know right now. When I was working there for the week that I worked there, I didn't do that. I hated that because I don't like trying to sell something to someone who
Who doesn't want it?
exactly. It's like you're like a parent is like literally in the store. Like I'm literally in here to buy Call of Duty because this little thing wouldn't shut up. I don't care about your credit card. I don't care about this. Like give me my game and walk like so I can leave.
Yeah. Do they and I'm assuming they didn't give you commissions for any of them upsells.
I don't remember getting a commission for
Right.
nothing.
No, that's what I assume. That's what I assume.
It was a requirement.
That's what I assume. No, I mean like that's why I like Circuit City because some of that stuff you sell it, you get a commission for it. Like you upsell something, you get a commission.
fucking remember Circuit City, man?
That's
All
depressing,
right,
isn't it?
you were
Yo,
My
reminiscing
bad, I
again.
did it again.
They had
No,
the
sorry,
fucking
never
song.
reminiscing.
I think you're just what I needed.
So
You remember? Don't even.
all right, so I'm gonna move on to the next topic.
I
So
remember.
I'm talking about GameStop potentially getting bought out. Drake invested into Gamers Lounge. Are you familiar with what that is?
Fill me in. 'Cause I
Gamers
forgot.
Lounge is essentially MLG, but not MLG. They have places where you can play online tournaments and offline tournaments,
Okay.
like what MLG used to do with game battles, and then going to game battles. He was in the initial investing seed funding, so essentially like the Series A funding for it. That's the second time that he's now put money into something around esports and gaming. The first was 100 Thieves.
Yeah. I mean, so you're saying it's like a physical place that people can go?
I don't know if it's a physical like building location, but they do serve a purpose of like showing up to places and hosting events.
Yeah. I mean, for some reason, the past 2 years, like land places have like popped up out of nowhere. Like New York
Like in
Excelsior
Walmart?
did their pop up, their land pop
They
up.
gonna rob these little kids for
Yeah,
places to
and
practice their
Walmart.
Fortnite.
But then,
yeah.
but I was gonna say, if you think about it, like it's kind of expensive.
For
Like
sure.
there was
Yeah,
like a
esports
kid-
arena in
a
Vegas
kid-
is what, like $50 or
a
something.
kid would go for like
3 hours.
he would go to this I remember because I would always go and chill. We'd always like my friends would be like, yo, let's go. He would spend like $100 every Friday. Imagine that times like 20 kids, 30 kids, 100 kids.
Wait, but was this at one of the newer, or was this like a like the land centers that we're used to, where people like smoking inside and?
Well, the New York Excelsior one like had like a merch shop, and then they also had,
Oh, he
like,
spent
a
this
land
at
section.
the Excelsior
Yeah,
land
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Oh, okay, so it was the new age
Yeah,
price.
the new age one.
land center. I
But
thought you were talking
spending
about the old
mad
one.
money. No, you mean like a PC bong where it's like you spend like $2 an hour and you're
Yeah,
like,
that's what I thought you were talking about for a
and
second.
then you
I'm
can
like,
pass
that's
out
nothing.
and whatever.
I couldn't justify that unless I was like, I do appreciate the esports arena in Vegas for allowing you to pay $20 an hour and you can stream.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
dope.
also,
That's
like-
dope if you're a partner or
Like
you're somebody.
shout out to Waypoint Cafe. They let you they got a streaming room. It's like you could pay and you could stream for a couple hours.
I think that's dope.
I think it's good for those type of people who need to get there, who don't have the money or the revenue yet to like have their own setup, or they just don't have good enough internet. They could have a great
Right.
setup, but like
I think it's dope in that sense, but when you're charging everyone that same price to not do that same thing, that's when it's kind of like,
No, it's $10 just to play, but
Oh,
the
it's 10
streaming station
okay.
is
I
20.
seen
Yeah,
some-
it's $10 an hour, and
I saw some nuts out.
And let me
like,
say, the reason why I love the fact, the reason why I like esports arena, I think it's a slick little deal because let's really talk about it. Vegas is a place for adults. And some
Yeah.
people got some chatty, bratty kids, and boy, one thing that's a blessing is the existence of Fortnite. You mean I get to pay $10 and I could ditch my child? He's not going nowhere because there's nothing else he wants to do but play Fortnite. You know where you can find that kid. $18 for 2 hours? That's not bad. To ditch a child?
Did you try the fucking
Because that reason, it was funny thing we talking about GameStop, and you said it yourself, man. The only reason why people went in there was to buy a babysitter for $60, which was Call of Duty. Wonderful. I mean, maybe you
Or-
in Vegas and you gotta take them bratty kids. $20 and dish them for 2 hours?
yeah, or like you just like going into GameStop, a kid goes in there, he's not coming out for like an hour.
Right. And let
So-
them make a come up in the casino, but fam, they're going right back in and to drop another 50. Say, no, play more Fortnite.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Play old game.
Go ahead.
But I'm thinking about like the person that is like where their PC bongs or whatever are getting shut down just because the money's not there anymore. Right?
Yeah.
And now everyone's like, oh, I'm going to the esports arena. But like, you're now paying almost triple the price of what you were paying of $2 for an hour.
Yeah,
But you're now paying like
at,
$15,
internet
$20
cafes.
for an hour.
Internet
Like,
cafes. I used to go there and play fucking Counter-Strike. Doesn't have PC.
The overhead is ridiculous, but I
but
forgot what the question
do you
was.
think those numbers are inflated for like esports arena because people, these numbers that are popping up, like, oh, gamers have this amount, the average gamer has this amount of money?
I couldn't say. I'd have to do my homework
I
about that.
think it goes back to the idea of like again, since we're going, not to bring it up again, but like the streetwear gaming clothes,
Mhm.
like the alt did a collaboration. Like I think they're so expensive now, and I think those more expensive brands come out is because you have all this research coming out. Like the average gamer makes this much a year, so like you got these people being like, oh shit, yeah.
No, they don't.
No.
Yo, I hate
And
those
it's like-
reports. They
but, like,
don't
but
make
I'm just
that.
saying, you got these people coming out of nowhere, like being like the average gamer makes like $80,000 a year.
dear
And
everybody.
it's like,
doesn't make that
it's
much.
like the average gamer doesn't have a job.
Dear everybody, the average gamer is broke as hell. Or and you know what? I'm gonna be super specific too, because this is like fun to do. The average streamer is broke as hell. a lot of people pay way too much attention to the people who are partnered, which is still a small group out of the amount of people that stream. You know how many people fire up their streams, play for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, and have 0 viewers? There's a lot of them.
Shout out to those guys, by the way.
I'm stunting, yo. I got
And
6.
people forget.
I got 6 viewers. I'm a partner. I got 6 viewers, bruh. I'm doing alright. But let me tell you, my source of income don't come from no damn streaming. That's a very small group. So I don't know why they do inflate those prices, but I will say this. There's one thing we got to keep track of is the overhead. How much does it cost to upkeep all of that stuff?
Yeah.
That's really what that's where
That part I get. The upkeep part I get.
Yeah, that's where the pricing comes from.
Hmm.
And the locations they're putting them in aren't really prime either. I'm still confused about that. Like the esports arena in. So all right, so let me add to this as well. I don't feel like a bulk of their income comes, with the exception of no, I can't even make them an exception. And I'm only speaking on esports arena. The bulk of their income doesn't come from people coming in and playing on their systems. It comes from events.
Yep.
People buy the space because it's a set up, well-established space for events, and here and there they could what's it called? Get people to come in and play here and there on their downtime because there's not a lot of events. It's only on the weekends. Right? But from that Monday through Friday, while they're up, they can still nickel and dime here and there and get some people to come in and do something for sure. For sure. That's it. That's how I see it. So I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen with the future of that, but so long as esports and that pop culture thing is around, or at least I'm gonna just say it like this: so long as Fortnite is doing all right, I think you're gonna get people popping up.
So, kind of back to the GameStop thing real quick. So the thing that kind of I can't wrap my head around, right? So GameStop is partnering with Esports Org to create like gaming facilities, which I'm assuming are gonna be the new PC Bong Esports Arena type thing, right? But the purpose of them are to essentially be like a breeding ground for new talents. I'm
Yep.
assuming they're gonna charge these kids to get in and come play. Like it's not gonna be free.
For sure.
I mean, and again, it's not to compare it to like traditional sports. It's like, where do you get your players from? For like professional football, but for college football, you go down to like high school shit, and you're like, yo, that kid, he plays really good. We should
Yeah,
recruit
you
him
had
for
to
our team.
why.
And it's going to be the same thing. Again, it's using an old model to try to make new people. So you're gonna have like coaches from organizations coming to these like gaming clinics or performance centers, whatever, and being like, oh yeah, that guy's been playing good all day. Like, let's talk to him. Let's keep watching him. And then like, let's breed him. And then let's just be like, hey kid, you want money? Let's give you the breadcrumbs so you come to us. And again, it's an old model it's an old model that you're using in a new world. And again, it's gonna work because that shit does work, but
Part of it works.
it's not gonna be
for
sustainable because it's the idea of back in the day, like with YouTubers, when YouTubing partnership, all that shit first came out, they were like, oh shit, we're gonna use these old methods of breadcrumbs, and then like these YouTubers like, yeah, let me get money, and then it popped off, and then suddenly like, I think that big YouTube bubble ended up popping because finally you had these YouTubers being like, why the fuck am I doing this? I could totally make more money if I go off on my own and do
For
my own
sure.
shit.
Yeah, like when a lot of people like just cut ties with Machinima. That was one of the big ones.
Machinima did it. Freaking
Dude, I forgot Machinima was a
TGN
fucking
did
thing.
it.
And I think that's what's
Makers
gonna happen.
did it.
You're gonna have it's the same principle where it's like you trying to use this old outdated method that is not gonna work in an internet age, and then finally you gotta get these kids like after years of like getting like kind of money and thinking they got the shit, all of a sudden like they're gonna get a wake up call and they're gonna be like, I'm
This
not
is-
really making any money.
This is non sequitur, but I gotta say this because now is the perfect time to say this. Any new gamers coming in, especially now, like I'm not like they're way more aware now, but this is still the Wild West. So be aware of the awkward and weird looking contracts. A lot of people are really hyped to have an opportunity to play video games for a living. It sounds wonderful. And I can tell you, especially the transitioning generation, the one that I was talking about, see, you got to find the good people in it because they're the ones that know the old school business, like you said, Henry, and are paying attention to all of the young kids that just don't know any better. So they're gathering all the really good players, talking about all of this stuff, making these BS orgs, and then putting some cockamamie contract involved. This is the reason why Empire Arcadia got a lot of issues way back in the day, because there was no org. That was like the original FGC org, right? All of the really great players were there, and Triforce was running it. What did them contracts look like? Wasn't the best, but a lot of orgs have been popping up and doing that. They build something, got all these great players, and they're signing some bogus contract that wasn't even notarized.
Yeah.
But they don't know that because they don't know the business.
Yeah.
And then they sell them
Well, it's the idea.
and cash out.
I was talking to somebody yesterday, and like I was like making jokes about it and shit like that. But she was like, you gotta get a lawyer if you're trying to get involved in anything. Get
Right.
a lawyer.
Yeah,
And
And like I
that's-
was bullshitting. I was like, oh, what? Oh, like, this girl saying get a fucking lawyer. But then
Right.
like, in all seriousness, get a fucking lawyer.
But that's
You would get a lawyer if you were signing a contract. If you were like, if you're like a recording artist, and someone was like,
yeah.
yeah,
But
sign
check this out.
contract. You would get a lawyer.
But check
Why
this
not
out.
get a lawyer for esports?
But check this out. The reason why they can't afford it. That's exactly why they get trapped. They don't. First off, you have to know that, number one. But number two, even if you know that, you're still a sweaty nerd gamer. Yeah, I'm just making up the stereotypes to be funny. But you don't. Probably, you spend a lot of time gaming. You probably don't have the resources to afford a lawyer to read over a contract. It ain't much, but you ain't got it.
I think those are starting to, like, I think his name is Bryce Blum. He's an esports lawyer. I think him.
Shout out to
and-
my man Ultra David. He's one too.
That name is familiar.
Ultra David, he does commentary for fighting games. He's a lawyer in gaming, and now he's pays attention to esports.
But yeah, I think like Bryce Blum and Snoopin, who used to play for, if I'm not mistaken, Fnatic.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've been very like, well, now he works for like Facebook, but I think they've been very vocal on to like the whole being able to providing players like some opportunity for someone to look at their contract,
For sure.
to be like, hey, we never heard of this org. Regardless, like someone should be looking at your contract to make sure that
Yeah.
you're not getting like screwed over.
You have to do it now because
mean-
they are robbing you. I'm not saying they're gonna rob you. They are already robbing you.
I mean, now you also have organizations that are like, now the new thing is now like promising things like health insurance and like benefits and shit
Fam.
like that.
Fam.
And like that's like now it's like, and I think that's more so now to have like players like have like their parental units be more inclined to be like, yeah, you can totally get
Man,
into
F
this.
all. Like, hey, yo, listen, kids out there, if you're under the age of 26, get on your
Get
damn
vaccinated.
parents' plan.
Oh, that's not what you're.
Vaccinated.
That's not what you're. My bad. Thought you were
That's
saying get
good, too,
vaccinated.
though.
As a licensed healthcare professional, I like to advise you, get vaccinated.
So I don't know how or why, but some flat earthers is gonna come for you. I don't know how. They gonna come for you. Just you.
And guess what? I knocked their ass right off the flat earth.
No, but in
Ain't
all
gonna vaccinate
seriousness,
them?
but in all seriousness,
Nah.
if
No,
like
you
an
just
organization's
have to
offering you
take
health
that
insurance,
direction.
like see what the fuck the health insurance is.
They do have. There are some legit ones. I'm not gonna lie. There
Like,
are some
be
legit
careful
orgs out
because
there.
there are some organizations
Yeah.
that'll be like, you got this health insurance, you think it's all good, then you end up in an ER and suddenly you're paying $300
Yeah.
for your ER visit, or you get admitted and all of a sudden your health insurance is like, we're not
No, we
covering
don't
this.
have that.
Yeah, no,
And
exactly.
then you got to go back to your organization. Like, why'd you give me this bogus ass health insurance?
Nah,
And
so
they're like,
yeah, I was gonna say
Fine print.
a lot of the ones that offer official health care. Well, first off, they're gonna send you to a portal that's covered by yada yada, and that deductible is gonna be taken out. You'll know if that's coming. But besides that point, you're still right. Just be careful what you're signing. TLDR,
Yeah.
just be careful. That was way off topic. I just had to say that because
No,
listen.
that's-
I hate esports.
nah, that's what this.
I hate
podcast-
it.
That's what this
It's just
podcast is
sponsorships.
about. This is what this podcast is about. We go off tangents all the time.
I hate esports. I don't hate esports.
Rip Circuit City.
I'm not here to make money off
I was about to-
esports.
I was about to
But
say
I
you
see
can
people
leave.
get robbed all the time. I just do. I
Speaking,
do all the time.
I was about to say you could leave. Oh, time out real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna move the camera. And then, like,
I was like, I keep talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of like parents approving of like your lifestyle and shit, like how you feel about there's a Simpsons episode coming out about
I remember
about
that one,
esports, yeah.
It's Bart Simpson doing esports.
yeah, and it's essentially
it actually already premiered.
Yeah, it did.
so
They
it's
already
essentially
showed.
yeah, because I know like the highlights are basically because it's on our topic list. It's essentially about like Bart becoming like really good at esports, and then like all these parents being shocked about how much money they make, and then Homer being like upset that like Bart is like wasting his time, and to prove a point he like sabotages him, and then like to get him out of esports. How you feel about that?
That's a common story, but I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the people that go out of their way to tell that story suck at telling that story, so I don't really care about the story itself. I mean, that's cool, and I'm glad that recognition is there. I'm not mad at that, but I mean, I feel like I've seen that narrative told many times. I mean, I'll admit I was a part of that narrative starting out. I definitely dropped out of college to do what I've been doing.
Yeah.
It was not intentional. It was like either I pay for school or go to school, and I couldn't go to school unless I competed because that's where the money came from, right? But besides that point, like, yeah, I mean, I remember the disapproval process, yada yada.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's a tired ass story. There's different angles to tell the narrative about esports and the culture, and I also don't like the lies about all of these esports players making money. We're not at that point yet. I know Counter-Strike and some of these places are exceptions. Dota is crowdfunded.
Yeah, Dota's always been crowdfunded.
I'll admit the
They're hot
League
from some of the
League
people.
of Legends does have great franchising benefits and there's money involved, but even that is a slow and steady burn as compared to everything that's happening now. It's not the same thing. It's not. We're not at the point where we should be making that. I don't mind that story being told. It's pretty cool, but tell the truth. Like, tell the truth.
So honestly, though, as someone who did y'all watch the episode?
I mean, yeah, I didn't even know
Okay.
about it until just now.
So it doesn't. It's not. The Simpsons takes they definitely consulted some people within the industry about the episode. So it's not really about like showcasing how great gaming it is or anything.
Mhm.
It's literally like just satire of like what people on the outside see esports and gaming it. Like there's a part of the episode where when Bart finally tells Homer like how much money he's making, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make he's like, "I'm gonna make $1,000." Like you guys probably saw like a video of the tweet going around.
Yeah.
But like after that, Homer's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be his like manager, and I'm gonna find him a coach." And so like he invites some dude who comes over, and he knocks on the door, and Marge answers the door, and she's like, "Oh, are you here to coach the kids?" And he doesn't respond, right? He doesn't say anything. So she asks him another question, and he whips out a card that says like, "I can only have conversations if it's about games." And she's like, "Oh, so you're here to play games?" And he's like, "Yeah," and then walks in. So like it was more of like making fun of like little
That's
things,
cool. I rock
little
that.
little niches that people think, but there was little hints of stuff that like I'm pretty sure went over the average person's head and probably went over some esports people's heads. Like there's a part in the episode where they're at the school, they win the tournament, and they're about to get their money, but they're getting it in cash. And the principal is handing Bart the money, and like Bart's like, "Let go of the money, like let go of the envelope." And he's like, "I can't." He's like, "Why not?" He's like, "I've never had this much money in my hand before." So he's like, "Oh, just let me look at it." So he rips open the thing and he starts counting the money. He's like, "Oh wow!" And then Homer walks by and snatches it. But like they were making fun of like tournament organizers either not having the money to pay out to kids or holding their funds because like we never seen this amount of money come in.
Yeah.
So
Boy,
we're not really trying to give it out.
You know, it's funny. We're in the heart of one of the places that robbed a lot of people. Hello, Boston.
I will never forget a couple of the tournaments out here that did the same thing. You know who always seems to get robbed? Smash players. Smash Brothers players are the gods of getting robbed, and it's the tournament organizers.
Controversial.
I have no problem saying I don't care. Get mad.
What's happening at PAX right now?
Well, thank God it's at PAX. If it was anywhere else, bro, but that happened. That is exactly what happened. A lot of people would sign up for these events, and they would have the fat stack of money. But you got to pay these people. You got to pay them out.
So
They held the money and said the tournament didn't happen, or we lost the funds, or this happened. We got to pay for it. Like they pocketed it.
So, I think a lot of people in the esports and stuff like that, they don't realize that like certain things happen on a regular basis,
Yeah.
and or they don't realize like you can get fucked just because someone promises you money. It's the same thing. Also, like it's like the idea of like a regular job. Like you want to work overtime, you make this much money, and then it's like all of a sudden you get the check and you're like, why didn't I make as much money as I was promised? Because you had to pay taxes and shit. And it's the same thing in esports. People be like, yo, I'm about to drop and I'm about to make like 10K on this tournament. It's gonna be amazing. Blah 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 blah. I'm set for life. Da 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 da. And then all of a sudden,
That's
like,
a 1099, bro.
and then all of a sudden, like you get taxes, and all of a sudden, like they hand you a form right before you get your money, and they're like,
Yep.
yo, fill this out real quick, and then you're like, what the fuck? And you don't know what the
Yeah,
fuck
you
you're
don't know what
doing,
it is.
and all of a sudden, like you get nothing,
Yeah.
and then they're like, this is bullshit.
I'm gonna say though, I got lucky with my 5K win. I saw.
Oh my God. I'm going to the bathroom.
I saw
God.
the whole 5K check go into my bank.
But that was a 1099 though.
Yeah.
So you had to pay taxes.
No, I
on
had
it.
no taxes on it.
Oh, you going to
There was
jail?
no taxes on it.
Nah, you going to
Yo,
jail.
delete that part.
Delete that.
Delete that.
You going to jail. Did you? So I found this little fun fact.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you know that Apex Legends brought in $92 million in-game transactions
Shit. And
since release
didn't like
across all
Apex, didn't
platforms?
Apex only make like 3 million or some shit like that?
Was that after Battle Pass came out?
I think that was
or before
Anthem.
Battle Pass?
Anthem. That's what I meant.
This was in the month of, I think it was essentially before the Battle
Yeah,
Pass.
before Battle Pass, okay.
So like that number's gonna skyrocket, but like 92. This is in-game transaction across all platforms.
That's crazy.
And that's just for cosmetics too.
That just goes to show you how much like how easy it is to like market to people that are on the hype train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Especially coming from a game that's from a company that made a game that flew on the radar, essentially. Titanfall.
Is paying Ninja $1 million flying under the radar though?
no, he's talking about Titanfall flying.
Oh,
Titanfall 2
I was
flying
about
under
to
the
say
radar.
like
No, Apex Legends definitely making their money back for that investment they gave to Ninja.
They didn't. You know what? They didn't pay Ninja enough.
Oh, I know that.
Oh yeah.
I'm with you on that.
I want to know.
said that
No,
on
I'm
last
mad
episode.
about that because I'll say it again. There's advisors. There are advisors, and now I think they split the pot. Like, listen, I know also they paid Shroud as well. This is why I say I'm a little concerned. I'm sure. Okay, maybe they both got $1 million, and in Shroud, Ninja's huge. Believe it or not, Shroud's still bigger than Ninja. But besides that point, do these people know how to count? And this information isn't available, which is why I'm like concerned. Do they know how to count the impressions that they have? Do they know how to measure that and turn it into currency? Because if they did, and you said it, listen, $1 million sounds great until you realize that you can bring in 97 million. You didn't even get like that's 1%.
$1 million sounds great until you realize that the company made $37 million in a month.
Right. How much is it?
Wait,
So, besides
where
that point,
you saying 37 from?
Is it 37? How much?
No. They made 92 million
92.
in a month.
92 million
since the release.
Since
This was
launch.
before
Okay,
Battle
all
Pass.
right, that's fine. All right. So how much did they make the first month? I only care about that number for the moment. Does anyone know?
this-
Is it like 50 million or something like that?
No, that was the number. We're basing it on, it was an estimated of 92 million of in-game transactions
I know that.
since like it came out in
Release.
February. It was
Yeah.
the game came, so essentially
But still, if
from
you take
February
it-
to the beginning of March.
Okay, let's cut that
So, like,
number
yeah,
in
it's
half.
first month.
Let's cut that number in half and say that that's how much money they made.
Let's just say 41 million they made.
41 million,
That's about half, 92.
and they only paid one to market it. I don't like those numbers.
I mean, it's a little bit more than one because they paid the other streamers, but I get what you're saying.
I
I
don't
get
give
what
a
you're saying.
fuck.
No, I'm with you. I get what you're saying, but it's like again, they don't know. The streamers didn't know what that revenue was going to be for them.
This is why I'm so glad Fashion Nova does stuff like give you a freaking code,
Why are you shopping at Fashion
an
Nova?
endorsement. I'm gonna tell you why.
First off, I love Fashion Nova, so.
Blash and Blover. I know what that reference is to. All right, Blash and Blover. All right, so listen. the reason why I love it is because like you need to be able to keep track of these things. If Ninja knew how much of an impact he had to bringing those people onto that platform and playing that game, if there was some way to track it, some code, a skin. This is why I love the skin thing that PUBG did for a little while. You know how much you're worth because you can actually track how many skins you sold or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So say, all right, guys, if you use this code to download Apex Legends, you get this skin. Skin is free. You just in the game is free. But they're paying you X amount of money to market the game and sell it. Now you can actually track that. I mean, you can see
you got
how many skins you gave off. You can see the skins in game.
I mean, if you go back to YouTubers being sponsored by like remember when like War Machines was like sponsoring like YouTubers and they're like, yo, use the code blah 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 and you get $10,000 of worth of in-game currency. You get, or not $10,000, but you get
Right.
like whatever. You get in-game currency. You get this skin. Blah blah blah. That's a way to track.
Right.
If you could do that in Apex and stuff like that, you would see that a lot more Twitch streamers, a lot more streamers would just be like, shit, I have way more of a better influence. I
For
should
sure.
ask for more money next
The
time.
money itself, I'm gonna say this for other people listening. The money itself isn't the factor. Like with those promo codes, the money itself that is the part that doesn't matter. It's what those people, those influencers are doing is they're establishing something that they can track, so that when it comes to the business side later, they have
They can see that
evidence.
number, yeah.
They have numbers. They have a selling little pocket, little patch of information that they can use to sell. That's why it's
And
important.
it's the misconception that it's the idea of like for some reason people think that because it's 2019 companies are trying to do more for people. That's bullshit.
No.
Companies will always try to do things for people by doing the least amount, spending the least amount and doing the least amount.
Let me put a
They're
number.
trying to get the most back without giving with giving as little as possible.
Fam, you know how many people wrote, like, I saw so many articles that was like, oh my God, Ninja got $1 million for Apex. I was like, you know how I feel like they sold him the exposure. You do this, we're gonna give you this and some exposure.
It's like, I saw a meme on Twitter. It was like PayPal or exposure. I was like, oh, that's
Right. That's what I'm saying, but that's what they do. So, like, I mean, okay, like all of these people writing and it seems like a big deal, but the person that knows about marketability, look, the dude just did a commercial with NFL. His buying power is a little bit stronger than $1 million for a quick commercial. I'm thinking about, like I said, we look at
Hell,
the same
go
podcast.
even big. He just did a commercial for Samsung.
Right,
This is bigger than the NFL.
right.
Not to mention that
Global.
commercial probably was shown on TV,
Global.
on ads, exactly, everywhere.
And somebody's child saw that and kept yapping, so a lot more adults know about it. For sure.
I thought you were about to be like a child saw that and they just couldn't stop talking to me about it.
That's funny. I can see that happening too. That's
On the
my luck. On the plane. All right. I don't want to talk about that plane ride. But no, that's the thing.
You ever heard
That's the
about-
thing.
Hey, you work in gaming? You ever heard of Ninja? Fuck you, kid.
I have to stop traveling with this Twitch bed. That's exactly how it
You
happened.
gotta stop by it.
I had the bad. I was like, oh, you know Twitch? Oh, you play Fortnite? Oh, you know Ninja? Oh, Tfue's better than Ninja. I don't care.
What if he asked you if you were a ninja?
If I was Ninja?
Yeah. What if he was like, "Hey, are you a ninja?"
Fam.
Would you be mad?
Yes.
I would be.
Because it's obvious he doesn't really watch Twitch.
I like how you went. I wouldn't be mad. Really?
My hair
No,
is
I said
not
I would
blue.
be
You
too.
would be mad.
No, I said I
It's
would
not
be
blue.
too.
Oh.
We sort of look the same, so I see where you coming from with that.
You a
No.
ninja?
Yeah. We look the same.
You know what I was about to say? But,
I could pass for
but
Ninja.
I ain't trying to get killed right now on this podcast.
Yeah, you technically Hispanic, but not
No,
when the
even
cops
that. I
stop
was
you.
gonna
So
say,
like you good.
I was,
You're not good actually.
I was gonna be
I don't know where
like-
he's going with this. I'm kind of scared.
So go ahead, say it.
I can't do
Say,
it.
all right, thought so, motherfucker.
Guys,
Anyway.
welcome to the GG podcast. Special guest today, Swoozy in the building.
I remember doing things like that too.
How much more time we got? This podcast is over. I'm done.
Oh, he called this man Swoozy.
Oh my god, it's 2019.
I'm so lucky
Oh,
that
man.
I'm so lucky Dosh and I are friends. I'd be dead right
Oh
now.
my god. People still call me that too. I'm like,
Hey, you
Really?
gonna, Yo. are you
'Cause
gonna,
I got
are you gonna
bigger.
snuff him? Are you gonna snuff him?
no, I'm good. I'm good.
Nah, y'all gotta fight.
No, he let me stay on the mattress. We had to take off the top bunk, so I'm chilling.
Nah, y'all should fight.
We should fight. No, I ain't mad. I'm mad, but I ain't mad. I still hear that.
No,
And it's funny because
I wish-
like
I wish my
we
video
don't look
didn't
the
stop recording
same,
in
but
10
like I
minutes.
got bigger. I got like heavier.
Oh, so you calling Swoozy small?
And then no, he got heavier. So people still
Oh, so you
think we
calling
look
him
the same.
fat?
We doing this?
Damn, y'all disrespectful.
We do.
Breaking news.
I hate y'all. I don't wear tank tops.
Small time podcast calls out Swoozy.
Nah, he called him fat. He
Call
didn't
him
call,
fat.
he didn't call him out. He called him fat.
I call him fat. Y'all gonna get me in trouble.
No, that's all.
Well, we pretty much discussed everything that I had on my docket. So,
Yeah, word.
but this was fun.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast.
We had our
y'all.
first guest, even though it wasn't in the interview format. But we'll have that later.
But here's the thing, like, do we really want to do, like, do we want to do internet, like, interview style shit, or do we just want to have someone just come and kick it on our show?
Both. I want to do both.
We could just combine it, make it one thing. Because I feel like this was a little bit of an interview.
Y'all got insider stuff that I don't never want to share again, cause I hate the inside.
Yeah, but I wanted it to be.
I like the
I
outside.
don't know.
I like the
We can-
outside.
that's
Don't be on
that's
the
more like a
inside
business thing
anymore.
that we can discuss off the.
I hate
podcast.
y'all.
Yeah.
Who?
I hate you both.
Calm down, Susie.
I'm sorry. Yo, I'm leaving.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Again, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, all your favorite DSPs, digital streaming
Alright, and
platforms.
actually, while we got them, Hanzo, that mic, this mic, you can plug. What are you doing right now?
Who are you, Sean Evans? This ain't Hot Ones.
Coming from Troy Buttons over here. If you don't be quiet and let him get his stuff off.
Yo, sweat, Fat Susie. Don't you got muscle T to go like
It's
whip?
Hanzo's turn to speak. Shut up. Let him get his stuff off.
Hanzo, do your shout outs, man. We love you, man.
Right now, I'm not doing anything as much as I want to. Pretty much on hiatus until my new PC is done. Then I'll be popping off back in streaming and airsoft stuff.
Are you selling your own airsoft merch?
Not yet. I will be though.
Are you gonna be an airsoft streamer?
Yeah, actually. I'm
Oh
trying
shit,
to actually
that was
do
a joke, and you just walked right in.
No, like, a lot of people don't. A lot of people are actually doing live streaming airsoft games.
Oh man, you call me Sean Evans.
Dose, you got anything you need to shout out?
I want to give a shout outs to my family and not my real one. I'm just playing. I love everybody. But, shout outs to y'all for having me on here. I wouldn't be in this stupid city if it wasn't for y'all. Because I can't stand being in Boston when there's
You're
cars
welcome.
outside.
Big beans.
You're welcome.
Yes, wow. Every
Man,
time, the last time we hung out, I met Troy in real life in Boston, and it was an accident that we almost got into. And never mind, I don't tell the rest. And then this next time we was out here, I think that's when y'all two met. But then we ended up having to babysit somebody whose name won't be mentioned, and he almost got thrown out the club.
I ain't say that.
And then
I ended up with some white girl.
I
and
ain't
then you were
saving no
there.
lives. I ain't saving no lives this trip. That's
Yeah,
all
for
I'm
real.
saying.
Nah, like, yo, you die by yourself.
I do think it's kind of nice though. Like it all started because I met Hans. I've known Hanzo for years. Hanzo and I know each other, and then I met Dosh, and then through Dosh I met Troy. Now Troy and I have this podcast. So just remember, guys, like it's gonna get real sentimental, but like
He gonna cry.
yeah, I'm gonna cry. No,
Yeah.
like just remember, like your friends. Like if you want to create shit with your friends, you could do that. Like don't ever be like, oh, we can't do something because we friends or some shit. Like if you want to create shit, create shit.
Just don't do it in esports.
Or if you do it,
I'm
or if
joking.
you do it at esports, just be genuine.
Yeah.
With that being said,
Or we gonna call you out.
you could subscribe to Swoozy's channel. Thank you, Swoozy, for being on the podcast.
He gonna actually get sus because of y'all punk ass. So I'm sorry. Get in my Cadillac.
But you can find us on Twitter at till GG do us part. And this is episode 5.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah.
Peace.
And sometimes I like to think about holding your hands, Henry, and let you know how pretty you look. My God, such a handsome young man.
So hey guys, welcome.
Henry's got super uncomfortable. Welcome to another episode of Till Good Game Do His Part. Your host Troy is here. Your host Henry is here.
What up?
And we got another guest.
In his sexy black and red jersey,
And my tutu as well.
we
Keep it-
have the
keep it in the back
wonderful,
pocket.
very, very classy Luciano.
What's up? How y'all doing?
Welcome to the podcast.
I didn't mean to kiss your mic.
It's okay.
Okay, good.
It's not
That-
really
that
my
really-
mic. It's
you
Troy's
didn't really
mic,
kiss. Pause. You didn't really kiss my mic. You kissed the audience.
Your audience, I'm sorry, I don't mean to push that onto you. It's a horrible gesture. I will shake your hand mentally. There, I'm glad we had this discussion.
So this is our third podcast here at PAX East.
Okay.
So it's been going pretty well. How's your PAX been going?
I'm tired. It's been a great experience. I don't ever sleep well, and that's every day for me, so it's nothing new. It's just I don't ever sleep well, and I force myself to stay awake from 6 a.m. until about midnight at a convention, where I'm on my feet most of the time, and they're screaming, which is why my voice is kind of gone.
So what have you been doing?
So my original plan was to come and record, and that was a bomb. No, but I definitely filmed some stuff from Dauntless. I already tried out Samurai Showdown, and I'm gonna go back tomorrow for some like footage. Gonna get really nitty gritty into it and talk to the devs about it. Besides that, I just hung out with Bandai. They're a partner of mine, so I'm always saying what's up, chilling with them, seeing out their games. They let me play Rad, and I'm gonna screw this name up. It's what was that, Man of Madame or Madame? I can't remember how to pronounce it. It definitely isn't the way it's spelled, but it's an interesting game. It's a horror game, and I like that Bandai's trying to out new avenues because we know Jump Force, we know the Dragon Ball, Tekken, One Piece, or the open world. I can't remember what it's called. World Seeker, that's what it is. We know that they stick primarily to anime games or Japanese stuff, but seeing Rad being done by Double Fine, the guys who made like Brutal Legends, and I think don't quote me on that, and seeing them work with another company to do this European horror game where it's a Chinese man running around with a gun speaking French threw me off. My God, and it's fantastic. It's an interesting experience, and I'm glad that Bandai let me touch it.
I mean, if we talk about a French guy in Japan,
Oh, yeah.
Onimusha 3.
Damn, you're right. Damn, call me out.
Is that anime?
Does that really animate?
You don't know
I
what
don't, dude. I
Onimusha
don't.
is?
I don't.
So Onimusha is this samurai demon game that Capcom made. It was in that era where like Chaos Legion, Devil May Cry. I can't think of any other dungeon crawling or hack and slash Monster Hunter. There you go.
If somebody's gonna correct me, but I think it was one of the other games that they were gonna try to, like, they were trying to make as like the Resident Evil competitor,
I thought that was Dino Crisis or something like that.
something like that. And then like it just evolved into its own game, and they're like, all right, cool. But yeah, Onimusha 3 had a French guy in Japan, while the Japanese samurai was in France. It was weird.
That is interesting.
But
So-
how do you feel about Samurai Showdown?
I like it. I like it a lot. It's very strange because the game is not the conventional fighting game. Normally, I expect. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're good. You're good. Because it's kind of gonna lead into my next question. So continue.
perfect. So Samurai Showdown is a fun game. It's just weird because I didn't get to sit down and understand the mechanic. I kind of was just like, hey, go play the game. All right. Am I good yet? But it's a fun game. I love it a lot. I loved it more than I thought I would. It just definitely caught me off guard. The game is weird. It's not like a simple, we just press jab into medium or whatever. In most games, like Street Fighter, even Street Fighter has like a weird combination when it comes to combos, but it's a combo. I don't know how this game works yet, but I will try tomorrow to understand it, and I'm definitely gonna give it a try. I like it a lot. I definitely shouldn't have like been eerie about it when I first heard about it being at Evo, because the more I play it, the more I like it, and I don't want to give it disrespect, because that's what I did with BlazBlue. I don't like BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, but I gave it respect, and it got 2 times at Evo. So, but yeah, Samurai Showdown, pretty fun game. It's fucking gorgeous. Can I say that?
Oh
What?
yeah, you could curse.
Oh, I can curse. It's fucking gorgeous. Like,
Yeah, it is actually a
Christ.
fucking gorgeous game.
Keeping it on fighting games and whatnot. That's kind of your forte. You just finished a tournament.
Oh.
How did that go? Now you don't gotta tell us where you placed.
Oh no,
But-
I got third.
Okay,
Which
that's
is
not
fine.
bad. That's not bad.
Because yesterday, Thursday was Street Fighter, I got second. Friday was Killer Instinct, I got second. And then today I was trying to take Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball's my main game. I got third.
Who is this guy just getting thirds and seconds? Like,
Did
yo.
you get a fancy medal?
No,
every
no,
time?
no. This year they didn't do medals for under second place. It's only first and second.
Okay.
Which
So you have like 3 medals now.
no,
for
2
second
medals.
place?
Two medals. Because again,
Oh, yeah,
Dragon Ball didn't have a
You got
medal.
third, yeah.
But tonight is Jump Force, and it's not like a traditional fighting game, but Bandai had me at their place for the first tournament they had, and I won that. So I told Bandai, hey, Jump Force is here, and they're like, oh, great, okay. And so one of them already went upstairs. She's like, when's Jump Force? I'm like, at 8 o'clock. She's like, I'll be back with the rest of my people. I'm like, oh, God. So they're like, you better win. We will take back that trophy if you don't. I'm like, no, please.
Just take it
I
back.
earned that trophy.
So I guess we can get a little bit into your history. What is, since we actually said in our last episode that we had, what was the first game you ever played?
The first game I cognizant, I can't think of the word. The first game that I can recall ever as a human person that I can think of, I think, was Pokemon Blue. I was at a cousin's house, and she had that thick, like, brick game where you could bash someone's head in with, and she had Pokemon Blue in it, and half the screen was broken. So she's like, hey, you can keep it. And I was like, I can't even see how much health my opponent has. Well, I mean, at the time I didn't understand. I was like, whatever, it's a fun game. I definitely liked it. And we played Bomberman. Oh, it wasn't Pokemon Blue. That was the one I played the most. It was Bomberman on the
Okay.
Game Boy. That was the first game I ever played in my entire life. And I loved it. And I beat it with, again, only half the screen functioning. The other half where you couldn't see it.
So you had like half a childhood because you can only see half the screen.
I mean, it was only like when I was like from 3 to I want to say 7.
That's a long.
You had
ass
a
time to
broken
not-
Game Boy for 4 years?
Yeah.
Your parents never were like, oh, we should give him a new one.
Well, I mean, because even when I was a child, I was just like, hey, I like my stuff, so I'm not gonna break it. And they said no, they see no reason because I was having fun with it the way it was. And then I got a Game Boy Color when Gold came out. There we go, because that was my next favorite game. That was actually my second or third favorite game of all time. Pokemon Gold. I played it. I sat there for 14 hours straight, just bum rush that game. And I loved it. I did all of Johto and half of Kanto all in 14 hours.
So what was the first game that you were ever like competitive at? Like that like you picked it up, you played it, you got good at it, and then suddenly like you found yourself, whether it was a fighting game and you were playing like your friends at them and just whooping ass or whatever, or you were just like, shit, I wanna fight people.
Well, so it's kind of hard story because I only got into like competitive gaming because I saw like when I was like 13, 14, that's when YouTube started like picking up for like the niche stuff. It wasn't like commercialized. It was just like, hey, come put your videos up. And at the time, we were just tired of watching Mega Man NT Warrior on YouTube. We were like, we want to do something different. So I filmed and I started watching like Dayasha, sadly Dark Side Phil, and I just watched him play Street Fighter 4, and I was like, I want to do that. Because I was already putting up YouTube videos, but I was like, I want to do that. I want to play Street Fighter. So I stopped focusing on video content. I started playing Street Fighter 4, and I played a bunch of other games. But my first tournament ever in a fighting game was Street Fighter 4. At the 25-year anniversary, I made top 32. First ever tournament, top 32. Remember, we got knocked out by Chris G, and I was like, I'm done. I'm good.
I mean, that's a good person to get knocked out by.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
I was happy. I was happy as hell.
What was going through your head like when you first at that first tournament and like you getting top 32? I mean, like first tournament top 32 is pretty big for a first tournament, and then to get knocked out by someone of the stature of Chris G. Like, what was just going through your head for like that event? Like, do you remember like?
I remember specifically, I fucked all y'all up, is what I said. But no, I remember just, I don't remember. I was happy that I placed well, and I was happy that I made friends, and I got to meet like Biggie and all those guys. Biggie Gaming, not Biggie from like WWE. They're both, I don't know why they share the same name, but they do. I just made a lot of friends, and just took off from there. And then I placed in the Skullgirls tournaments. I got second in my first Skullgirls tournament when it first came out. I got second at a Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3 tournament when it first came out. What else did I do? I won an ARMS tournament. It was just like, after that, I just started playing. Like, it started being less Street Fighter and more all fighting games. And as much as I love Street Fighter 4 and it pioneered me to play like these fighting games so competitively, like, bless you, Street Fighter 4. My God, Street Fighter 5 is just, why Capcom? What the hell, man? What the hell are you doing?
What with you broadening from like just one game to a plethora of games within the FGC, do you think that the FGC is very open when new fighting games come out, or do people usually try to stick with, outside of like Street Fighter, which you know everyone's gonna like migrate to the next iteration? Do you think they're very open to bringing in new fighting games, or is it kind of just like, nah, stick to this and you'll be FGC?
It's a yes and a no, because yes, of course, if it's a fighting game and it exists, people will play it, they'll have it up, and people will enjoy it and have fun and then play it. Whether it gets to a high competitive scene, it depends. For instance, Gundam versus, I was totally surprised, is heavy in a lot of fighting game majors and any other tournament scene that exists that's not just like fighting games. I did not know this, but something like Jump Force probably doesn't get as much, notoriety in the FGC. But with that said, of course, every new game comes out, there's always people like, yeah, it's great, and other people are going to be like, I don't want to play this, this looks like garbage, why you, no. Like, Cross Tag is a perfect example. Cross Tag, by, I guess, company standard, everybody loved it. You know, people, like, it got into Evo. It was marketed to be part of Evo before its release. It was at every major. It's one of the few games that don't get canceled. I'm looking at you, Bandai. No, I'm gonna stop. But BlazBlue has just been so successful, and a lot of people love it, and a lot of people hate it. I'm on the fence. I always like to talk shit about it, but I still respect it because my bro plays it. My twin brother plays it. My friend Reno, bless you, Reno. He won Win a Brawl with BlazBlue Cross Tag like last month. So there's games that'll survive BlazBlue, and there's games that'll die. Sadly, Killer Instinct. It's a fighting game that was well received, and now there's like, I only think 2 majors carried a year, 2 guaranteed, like Combo Breaker and KRE8, I think, had it, something like that. No more CEO though. Don't know why. Come on, Jubilee, get on your stuff, man. That was a long answer. I'm sorry.
No,
It's totally what we want.
That's like an educating question for someone.
That kind of answered like my question of like, what is your resume of fighting games?
I can tell you actually more in-depth resume.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna give you all the small little itty bitty like local scene stuff. I made 11th place at Defender North my first time for Killer Instinct. I made 13th place at Winter Brawl that same year for Killer Instinct. I made 17th place at Winter Brawl for Dragon Ball FighterZ this past month. Besides that top 32 at 25-year anniversary qualifier. What else did I do? I made top 32 at CEO for Killer Instinct. It's been Killer Instinct. I'm sorry. But I used to play a lot of games that are alive. Virtual Fighter, Tekken, Skullgirls, I already said. Marvel's Capcom 2 and 3. Marvel Infinite for maybe about 3 months, and then I stopped. What else? BlazBlue Continuum Shift. Maybe Guilty Gear once. I don't remember. It's a lot of fighting games. I can't keep up. My main game has been Dragon Ball FighterZ and Street Fighter 5. But I'm trying new things. I'm trying Tekken out. I'm trying Smash for some strange reason.
I played like one fighting game.
What?
My Hero, one's Justice.
Oh, yeah. See, now I got the game. I was supposed to do content on it. I did a stream, and then I never got to play it as much. But I was surprised to see it was so well received. People, all right, so I come from another fighting game that it didn't take off, Naruto Storm 4. I come from that scene where my teammate played a lot of Naruto Storm 4, and he won 3 majors for it. And I got 16th at all those majors. I couldn't keep up. But jumping from that into My Hero, the fan base was like, yo, My Hero is a way better fighting game. More fundamentally sound. It's not Burning Blood, One Piece. It's not Storm 4, but it's solid. And then Jump Force came out, and everybody was just like, oh God.
Like I still play it every now and then, but it got no support anymore.
Yeah,
There's no like DLC. Like
I mean, because they all. Wait, there's no more DLC?
they released like 2 characters and then like that's
yeah,
it.
Shoot Style, Midoriya, and Endeavor. I
Yeah,
know I'm
no,
saying his name
they
wrong.
released a
but-
third actually.
Third?
Inase, the wind guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude, this
Crap,
the
I've been
passion
off.
for this right now is like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I stopped playing it after a month after I did the review, the stream, and I just couldn't keep up, and I was trying to win Dragon Ball, and yeah.
Yeah.
so what has made you branch into Smash?
My twin brother Sasha, who plays it passively, but he'll make like top 64 and majors for it, even though not playing. My little brother, Gabriel, who's also part of Play All Gaming. My little brother gets always top 8 at locals every single time in New York, no matter where he goes. And it's a kid he just graduated high school. Most of his time was studying, and then he went to Smash, and he was just like, I'm gonna mess all y'all asses up. And he's a very humble kid. He just walks in, makes friends, so nice and kind, and he just scoops you in Smash. And it's like, damn, I don't get that good. My little brother, who doesn't play this now he does. He plays it like 4 hours a day at least. But if he can learn, I can learn. So I want to learn.
So do you think, what's your input on the whole Smash isn't FGC?
I mean, I think that
It's not esports or yeah, let's focus on Smash not being FGC.
So it about being FGC, I think, is a good thing because it's just a stupid argument that everybody likes to bring up. It doesn't matter because now people are talking about Smash again. And it's just like, not that they needed it, because Smash is always an ever-growing popular thing. That not even in the FGC, Smash is hella popular to the point where people would. It's not a thing to glorify. People would bother Sakurai and be like, I want this character, I want this character, I want this in the game, I want that in the game, and he gives you everything he can get you, and no one is satisfied. They'll still keep bothering him for more. So why I say that is because the game's popular. It just having to talk about it not being FGC doesn't hurt it at all, because guess what? People are still going to play it. People still love it. It's a huge fan base in and out of competitive scenes. So I see, it's not a fighting game. I don't care. It's not a fighting game, and that's a good thing. You don't know why? Because it's still a game that could sit next to Dragon Ball and Tekken and Street Fighter, and not Dead or Alive because core values, but it's a game that exists and it's surviving so well, and there's never a slowdown. There's always Twitch tournaments and flying people out. They even had one here at PAX East. They had one at PAX South. There's no shortage of Smash. So, what do I think about that argument it not being FGC? It's not, because guess what? It's surviving right next to Street Fighter and doesn't have to be an FGC game.
That was a very in-depth answer.
Sorry.
I liked it. I liked it.
That's what we want.
Sorry,
You were honest about it, because again, there will be people that'll just be like, they'll say it's not FGC, and it'll be because of its fighting style or this and that, or
Yeah, that shit
only
doesn't matter.
Melee is FGC and all the other ones are just blah blah. Blah. So, but you
How?
gave
Wait,
it
hold on.
honest
That's
and-
even more. All right, that's even more stupid. Like, how do you-
I heard it in passing. I don't know who it was, but I've heard it in passing. Like people, they were like, Smash isn't FGC, but they consider Melee to be
Yeah,
like
there's a lot of
the.
people who are like, Melee's okay, but everything else is trash. And
well,
it's like,
people are butthurt, and it's stupid. A lot of people can have their opinions. I'm not gonna attack anyone for their opinions. Whatever you think is whatever you think. It's confusing. It's asinine. It's downright just. It hurts to think about that, but at the same time, like, does it really matter? No. Sure, whatever. It's not FGC, but it's surviving. It's doing so well. And if you go to like a Smash tournament, if you go to any major, Smash will probably always be top 4 highest entered games. Period. The end.
So
And it's always going to be. I'm sorry. It's always just to just to end that thought if my brain can function. It's always going to be Street Fighter, Tekken, Dragon Ball, and Smash. Always making top 4 in whatever order, depending on what tournament it is, for entrance. So Smash is surviving, and it could not be a fighting game, and it wouldn't matter because it's doing so well.
So with that being said, as well, where do you feel that FGC falls into esports? Is it an esport, or do you think like FGC is just like, look, we've been so grassroots and sustainable being grassroots that like just leave us alone?
It's hard. That's actually a hard question, only because, yeah, it's grassroots, but at the same time, now that these, all right, check it. FGC normally is grassroots. That's how it started. You know, we're all yelling at each other, calling each other's bitch ass. I can't, you know, I almost slipped a word. I'm not gonna do it. Call each other like horrible things, and we're puffing our chests and we're yelling and we're getting hyped and we're screaming. And then at the end of the day, we're like hugging it out and handshaking. Respect. We're doing this all like first we're doing it in our parents' basements, then we're doing it in our garages, then we got our own apartments, and Bum is doing that in the Bronx in New York, and it's doing pretty well. It's not esports, but he has a stream, he has production value, he has people coming in like Sonic Fox, Neki Al, The Kill Sage, and more homegrown, more homie players like Cisco. Axice, Mini Assassin. Shout out to my boy, my young man. He was 17th at CEO last year. It's just FGC is not esports. It can be esports. But it definitely just.
It doesn't need it to survive. Essentially, it doesn't.
Now wait. See, that's another question. That's hard because esports is what makes CEO and Evo progress. Because now CEO is still that hot mix of in between homegrown hood brothers and sisters playing games and being crazy and getting hyped. But at the same time, it's still in that scene where sponsors are watching, people are watching, kids are watching, families are watching. Everybody will stop what they're doing to watch. They even got New World Japan as part of it. Hey, I know I'm distracted. Yes.
I'm just gonna let that pass for a moment.
It's Arthur.
There's
Is
just
it
a
Arthur?
guy cosplayed as Arthur blaring the Arthur theme song.
What a day! I thought yesterday I saw him wearing Danny Sex Bang's like onesie.
Oh yeah.
And he was just playing nothing but Ninja Sex Party songs, and that was a lot of skin that I'm
Didn't
sorry.
wanna see.
This guy is living his life, and I respect it. It's a lot of skin I didn't want to see.
Welcome to PAX East, everybody.
Welcome to PAX East. But what was I saying? FGC not being esports? Yes. Back on that. Sorry, brain fart. FGC still needs to have some aspect of esports because that's why stuff like downstairs the PAX Arena booth had the Discover sponsorship, and they had players come to play Tekken in a competition. Last year they had, or 2 years ago they had the Street Fighter players. Last year at PAX Arena, at PAX West, they had Dragon Ball. It's for these things to flourish in scenes like these. A little esports has to exist. A lot of funding has to exist because now, if you want players to come around the world to play you can't do it in your mom's basement or your garage. You need to have a venue, and that costs money. So you need partners and sponsors, and that needs to follow the guidelines of what they want. So say Nike's like, yo, man, I want to sponsor this event, but y'all can't be throwing around soft A's. Now, I mean, okay, that's pretty of that's an exaggeration of an expectation. We'll use that. But still, some commentators these days, when they're in a homegrown tournament, they'll throw around soft A's. They'll say whatever they want. They'll curse and call people, bitches and shit, and they won't give a shit because that's our community at that point. Like some people like to say it, and it doesn't come from a place of hatred. It's just our vocabulary in New York.
It's almost like if you look at it, it's almost like boxing.
Yeah.
Boxing is almost unfiltered.
If you look at like not to cut you off. If you look at like boxing and UFC, it's this idea of like even though it's on TV, people still have like this form of trash talk, and it's like this form of like almost disrespect.
Oh yes.
And it's just like so commonplace. And then like you go to but then you look at like the FGC and it's almost the same thing.
Yep.
But then you go to like other video game pro circuits and stuff like that. No one's doing that. And if someone does that, it's like they're immediately like seen as like the bad guy.
Oh, okay, yes, that, yeah.
Yeah,
Because like in Call of Duty, Gears of War, all those guys, I think the most well-known pop-off was this guy. He got up, I think he was playing Halo or Call of Duty, I don't remember what it was. He got up and he was cursing the guy out, and they're yelling at each other, and the guy goes, put your bank account on
Put your
it.
bank account on it.
And I can never forget that. I don't know what game it was, but I would never remember the game, but I'll never forget.
It was Call of Duty.
It was Call of Duty, okay,
and he's
yeah.
popping up, he's like, put your bank account on it. And the other guy finally just like afterwards just sits back down.
And just says
I'll never
nothing.
forget that. He sat back down after like being called out like that. I was like,
And that shit, that shit happens all the time. Like when you play Gears of War, people curse you out, and that's just how they are. They're aggro, they're hyped, they're in the game. But after the game, they're not gonna talk shit about you. They'll be like, yo, good games, whatever. Go fuck yourself now and stuff. But it would still be like met with a certain sense of respect because they popped off at you mid game. Doesn't mean they are talking shit about you in real life.
Yeah, it's not directed like.
Unless you're Wolf Cronin, K-Brad, man, those guys hate each other. Or they did. I don't know what's going on with that now. But man, that was funny. Oh, God.
You got anything to
So how do you feel about can the FGC can it be commercialized?
See, that's the esports thing all over again.
Yeah,
Sure, it can. Do we want to?
Can it be commercialized in its own way that isn't like a traditional, like not traditional, but that isn't esports? Can it be seen in a different way? Can it be
If the best
like
the best way to do this, maybe I might have hit a stroke of genius, and I kind of don't want to say it on the mic, but I'm going to say it anyway. So the best way that that FGC could be, what was the phrase?
Commercialized.
Commercialized.
is this thing called body count. I think it's called body count fighting games or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. They work with Spooky, and they worked with E3 to have this event. These fighting game players came in like a boxing ring setting, and they talked smack. And one of their most popular fights, sadly, was this girl and low tier god. And the whole point was they're talking smack, and people loved it. I don't know why, but people love it. And to the point where that E-League TV series came out, and they got low tier god on there for the sole purpose to stir up stuff because they want controversy, but it brings viewers. And so the FGC could be still raunchy, because guess what? Things like low tier god, or people like, sorry, not things. I don't want to say he's a thing. People like low tier god can still thrive in that setting, even in a commercialized setting, because people want to see that. People want to see like hype and anger and emotion, even if it's
So
we'll say off the rails with him. I'm not gonna.
But
say anything.
so now that we're seeing like Twitch and stuff trying to distance itself away though from like those controversial type of things, do you see FGC tournaments like being broadcasted on Twitch?
Oh, this
in
could
the,
be
in the form that they are right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because right now, like, what does Switch not want you to say? You know, don't call anything bigoted words, bigoted things. Don't insult people for their gender, race, creeds, orientation, sexuality, political. Oh wait, no, political. People get away with saying whatever they want about political stuff. But I digress. Anything else? Switch's like, no, you can't do it. You can't say it. You can't call someone a label based on their insert status here.
so let me ask this really quick.
Yeah.
If FGC can be commercialized and still keep its roots, right? Mm-hmm. What's the fear? Is it the fear that if it gets commercialized, it will lose it? Because I feel like if the people that are in there maintain the roots, they don't lose it just because they're commercialized.
Well, that's why. Well, I mean, yes and no, because let's say, for example, I'm using like Yipes. You know who Yipes is, right?
Yeah.
You know who Yipes is? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So Yipes, that's a sweep on shirt. Sorry, distracted. Oh my god. Yipes is an interesting person because he came from the era where it was like in your basement playing fighting games, you know, like going hard, being hood, and enjoying a good time. Now he's in an era where he's thriving commercially through commentating events. Now I don't know how his contracts work, but something weird happened that I saw before. So now Yipes keeps a certain social media separate from like his work because it's called the No Frills Podcast. Oh, I probably should have asked before I could say that. I digress.
Yeah.
They say whatever they want. They say whatever they want. They're chilling, talking about stuff, you know, shooting shit, cursing, whatever. They have no filter is the point.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't affect the gigs to commentate because they'll commentate whatever they want. He won't say certain things on those commentaries. He'll still make his jokes and be funny and be silly, make noises and react and have fun.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with his podcast.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, he was at a final round, and I don't know if there's a decision with the stream that had it up or the event holder or whatever, but he didn't commentate Dragon Ball. And everybody's like saying, yo, put Katana Prime and Yipes on Dragon Ball, they're hype. Or put Tasty Steve and Sajam on Dragon Ball, they're hype. Or put Tasty Steve and Yipes, we want Yipes. No matter what, doesn't matter who you're comboing, we want Yipes. They put Romanova, and I can't remember the other gentleman's name. And I'm not gonna, you know, my opinion of that was the commentary was not fantastic.
What it should have been, or
Not even what it should have been.
Yeah.
We're used to Yipes. So when we see like Romanova in them, I feel like it's unfair because now they're in the shoes that Yipes was, and even if it's not said physically or whatever, there's always gonna be that, yo, why isn't Yipes doing this? Is people gonna ask? And I'm not saying her or whatever anyone thinks about her commentary, it's whatever they want. It's just that now Yipes, who was homegrown and esports, like at those events, he was only at those esports things for like the Capcom Pro Tour, a game that he doesn't play or doesn't actively play at least. Dragon Ball, they get hyped for. Dragon Ball, they still love. Why wasn't he commentating? He didn't commentate Dragon Ball at all. Maybe I missed it on Final Round. I didn't see any commentary for him on Dragon Ball.
So almost the people who have the balance of esports and grassroots of FGC almost aren't supported by someone or something.
I wouldn't say that because I don't know. See, that's why I obviously don't want to bring it up because I don't know the financial or the contractual obligations of everything. I just thought it was weird, a weird coincidence that Yipes wasn't commentating Dragon Ball, a game that he always commentates every single time. But he was there and he was commentating Street Fighter a lot. I don't know if Capcom pays for that. I don't know if Final Round pays for that. I don't have their financial records. I can't assume. I can only guess that there's some weird thing that prevented him from commentating Dragon Ball. Maybe he was busy. Maybe he was scheduled and booked for Capcom. That would probably mean he got paid for it, which would make sense. It's just that now, if they're paying, if the companies are paying him enough money to commentate, because he's not going to fly out there for no reason. You know, it's like I don't know. Maybe I'm overguessing. I'm overstretching. These assumptions are not based off anything. It's just that I thought it was weird that he was there commentating Street Fighter and not Dragon Ball. And then I thought maybe it involves Capcom and payment, but at the same time I was like, I'm sorry, you know, like I don't want to think about that.
Would you sign with an org if one wanted to sign you to play fighting games?
Yes. I'm wearing the jersey right now. Yeah, I definitely would. Currently with Waypoint Gaming, and originally it was hey, we're in this position, we want you to work with us, this, that, and the third, let's work together. I said, yeah, sure. I definitely want to come and play and wear a jersey. I specifically, at the time, I want to just have a jersey. I want to go to events. But they're repping me, so I'm repping them. That was it. I didn't think of any financial gain or anything like that. But the more I started being more successful, I was like, oh, okay. And then they started bumping up and giving us more rewards, doing this and that. And then I started hosting events with them. And then I started emceeing at, like, NASA Coliseum and Mohegan Sun. So it definitely came back and forth. It wasn't one-sided. We both worked together. All from signing, saying, hey, you know, I just want to wear your jersey. That's how it started. I wanted a jersey, and then now I have all this partnership, and I don't suck anymore. But I want to win, damn it. God,
So will you be at Evo?
No, can't do it. I can only do. Damn. Yeah, I can only do a couple of events a year. This year was only Winter Brawl, PAX East. I think Defend the North is next. No, CEO, Defend the North, PAX West, in that order.
So what if there was one major, or not major, if there were majors that you could play in all the time and that you would want to win aside from all of them, like what would be your go-to majors? Like, would you want to win at Evo, or is that like not a goal in a sense?
So I would love to win at Evo. Evo is like the most prestigious tournament major in the year. That's where everybody's like, hey, yo, you know, if you won that, you're the guy. You're the guy. That's it. You're the best in the world, hands down. But now that argument has been stretched out because it's not as solid anymore. Because now, you won Evo. It's the biggest tournament of the year. All right, you're great. You're the champion of Evo. Does that mean you're the best? No, because now people can scoop through a bunch of other majors and lose at Evo. Is that really a big deal? To some, yes. Sonic Fox is super happy to win Evo. It's an African American winning Evo for an anime game. That's not common. An African British man. I don't know where Problem X is from. I know he's in Europe, but he won Street Fighter. It's the first time. I think that's the first. No, because Luffy from France won, but he's still of Asian descent. So it's the first time I think a non-Asian descent player had won Evo in Street Fighter, ever. I think. Let me see. It was Tokido. No, it was Tokido the year before. I don't think Knuckle won one. I don't think Justin won one. I can't think of any other person that isn't of like Asian descent that won. That's not a stereotype.
Someone
I'm sorry.
will correct you.
That won.
Yeah,
Evo
someone will get at you on Twitter
for Street Fighter.
Luciano, you're wrong.
I am wrong. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I didn't sleep. I'm still hungover. Still, my God, it's almost 24 hours later. I'm still hungover.
Imagine being old. Yo, that sucks.
Damn, that's.
Did you just call him old?
I feel like I'm actually older than Luciano.
How old are you, man?
28.
You are older than me. Yeah. You are older than me.
I was gonna say, imagine being a
25.
How old are you?
25.
You serious?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm older.
I had to think about it for a second because I'm like, I don't keep track of my birthday, so I was like,
How old am I?
yeah.
Yeah. What was the question again? Tournament I would like to go to. Yeah. So Evo is the most prestige, the biggest. I keep sidetracking. Biggest tournament of the year. So would I want to go to that? Sure, I want to win it, but doesn't mean I'm the best. Fuck no. So I'd rather go to a tournament that I enjoy. I used to be CEO, But I heard last year's Daytona event was the event was great. The location, not so much.
But you were talking about
Major, yeah. So CEO, I heard it was
Daytona.
the area wasn't great, but the event was fantastic, and I hope the event like holds up because I want to enjoy CEO because I enjoyed CEO 3 years ago and it was fantastic. But if I wanted to win at a major, yeah, I don't care whether it's CEO or Evo. Like CEO is my biggest major of the year that I'm doing this year. Like no, I already did 17 at a biggie event, but I can't go to any more biggie events because they're all on bad times for me. But my only other fighting game major I'm going to is the one in Daytona Beach and the one in Manhattan.
So one thing I want to actually ask you is you're as you know as a fighting game connoisseur,
Yeah.
and as somebody who actively games and stuff like that,
Try
you have,
to.
you have a lot of people who they talk about practicing. How do you essentially practice for your games and stuff? Is it just continuously playing? Is it online play? Are you just going to tournaments or are you just going to little local games all the time?
So now that's hard because I don't practice properly at all. I think I made sure to learn like 4 or 5 different things about a character. Try my best to keep my fundamentals clean, and then I won't play for 4 or 5 days, and then I have to reteach myself that, and then I won't play for another 4 or 5 days. I have to reteach myself that, so I don't grow anymore because I just don't. I haven't dedicated time proper to anything in fighting games because I'm so goddamn lazy and or I'm depressed. It happens every now and then, but I just gotta get on my shit. Practice more.
Does getting back into that help you overcome those? Like from being feeling lazy or feeling
No.
not in the greatest mood.
Because me not placing doesn't affect my depression. It's just life sucks sometimes, so I'll always have that in the back of my head. No matter what you do, you're gonna have some sort of negative thought. It's
Right.
gonna happen. But me playing fighting games, when I do well, I feel happier because I'm learning and I feel like I'm progressing. It's just that will it fix the issue? No, it'll distract me long enough for me to not notice that it's not fixing the issue until one day I'm like I'm not healthy, and so I didn't progress. And now I'm here every day, getting second and third in 2 games I haven't played in months.
Which is very good, by the way. Congrats.
Well, yeah, but it's also like I'm annoyed because Dragon Ball's my main game. I wanted to win first, but I couldn't do it. The guy played my character and did some ridiculous stuff with him that I could not figure out.
What are your characters?
In Dragon Ball, my current team is on point Bardock. I know it's bad. Gohan, adult, and then Super Saiyan Goku.
Okay, cool. Way to not give Yamcha any love, but all right.
Well, I don't, Yamcha's a good character in the game, but I don't give a rat's nutsack about that guy.
Give him that Wolfang fist.
Oh,
Is
that's
Chaozu not in the game?
he is as a move. All right, so Tien.
All right, well, you know what?
And
Fuck that game.
Tien's like he's a beam move that makes Chaozu make you stay still, kind of like his name is Gordo from the Ginyu Force, the small little green guy. So Ginyu and Tien has a call out move where they call another person, they'll make the opponent freeze, and you can combo off of that. And then for Chaozu, Tien has 2 level 3s. One was the Shin Kikoho, or Neo Tribeam, and the other one is when he calls Chaozu, and Chaozu does like I
back
can't make
hug.
that joke. He does the thing that he did to Nappa, and then it blows himself up.
Yeah.
I just missed when Chaozu was in like Tenkaichi and he would.
Yeah, he was small.
Yeah.
Oh, Tenkaichi, I didn't play that one. I played Budokai.
Yeah, he was in one of them. He was just really weak. And,
So,
yeah.
in your opinion, how do you feel? Where do you feel the FGC is going to be in the future?
let's say 15 years.
15 is. I feel
Well,
like it's
all right.
rough.
So I feel like an estimated guess on how long they've lasted is 25 years is what I want to assume, because people have been playing fighting games competitively since forever. It's what can I see in the future for fighting games? I really don't know. I couldn't tell you because it's ever changing, it's ever growing. It never stays the same. There's always new faces, new games. Like, here's a question: you know who Aquasoak was?
Nope.
Nope.
He's a Zangief player that streamed a lot. And he was fucking good. Where's he at? Who knows? He's doing his own thing.
Well, we don't know.
Faces
him, so-
change. I don't see much of. Let me see. I can't think of any other character. I can't think of any other person. Sorry, that's the only person I can think of off the top of my head because I'm like I haven't seen that guy in forever. K-Prad was in and out of the scene every now and then. Yeah, I can't think of anything. It's just really hard.
I mean, are
Because-
you gonna? Do you think we will ever see a growth in more so quote unquote American based video games? Because there's a lot of American based like fighting games that come out. You have Injustice, you have
Mortal Kombat,
Mortal
Arms.
Kombat.
Oh no, Arms is Japan. Sorry.
Arms is Japan. Will you ever see those really taking a big place in a lot of these big majors and stuff?
Well, Mortal Kombat already has a huge staple in most majors. Injustice does still until Mortal Kombat comes. I mean, until next Mortal Kombat comes out. In fact, actually, Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate and Mortal Kombat X would be in the same majors all the time.
Really?
And in fact, tomorrow's the Mortal Kombat XL tournament here in PAX.
How do you feel about Mortal Kombat 11? Did you check it out? Did you?
I
go on
didn't
the
play
floor?
it. I saw the videos for it. I think it looks really good. I just don't care.
Are you gonna cop it for the Switch? Oh wait, you just said.
I don't really.
just
I
don't
don't think I'm gonna buy it. Like I think I was soured by NRS when they made Injustice 2, and then all the art and the character designs for Static was already made, and they're like, nope, you ain't getting that character. And it's just like, well, and I sold my Injustice 2 immediately, and I just don't care for NRS
Well,
games.
there's no love for it anymore. Like,
Well, no, people still play Injustice 2.
I mean, like I meant love as in from the company.
Well, I don't know about that either, because Ed Boon works hard on these games.
Mad
But,
horde.
And a lot of people assume that there's no love because they don't see the work that not just the developers but the producers, the directors, the content, the social media specialists, the brand managers, the community managers. No one sees the background work of these games when they come out. They just see the product, and if the product isn't everything they want, they call it shit. So people assume that there's no love. There's plenty of love. The blood, sweat, and tears are put into these games. It's just that
Well, I meant
don't
like
see it.
after some time. Do you think there's love for certain of these games?
Oh,
Like I know
now when you say love, do you mean from the company or from the players? Because the players still play Justice 2.
company.
Well, yeah. Sometimes companies would be like, "Oh, it's cool. They're having this event." And they'll like make posts about it. They'll share it on social media because they want people to see that people are still playing Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate.
Right.
So
Do you think that the FGC has, I won't say a heavy hand, but plays a decent role into the sell of games as far as marketing? Like
Yeah.
outside of, because like I feel like people in the FGC are gonna buy that fighting game because like that's their bread and butter. But
Yeah.
like, do you think that it helps sell to like the casual player?
no, yes and no, or not. All right. So your first question was, do you think the marketing for competitive fighting games helps casuals? Yes, because that's how they marketed BlazBlue Cross Tag. And on the sticker when you first bought the first copy, and then the first set of copies, on the plastic before you rip it off to open the case, there's a sticker that says it's an EVO main stage game. And that was like on there 4 months for EVO's release. They sold it, letting people know that it will be at EVO. So they expect casuals to want to go to EVO and play. And probably a lot of people did. I don't know. I didn't go to EVO last year. I haven't been in 2-3 years. All I can say is yes, they market it like that so casuals can get into it. Does it work? BlazBlue's actually successful, so yes, I guess it does. Is it good? Meh. I guess it's not terrible.
So, I didn't really run this by you, but in the previous episode, Troy and I talked about trash talk.
Yeah.
And one thing we said was that one of the best trash talkers we see are FGC players.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I can agree with that.
can you run us through the best trash talk? Like, if you had to trash talk, let's say you had to trash talk like Troy.
Damn, why'd I have to be the subject?
Damn, you
Well-
want to use me? You can use me.
No.
If you wanted
I'm
to,
use Troy.
if you wanted to come at somebody, give us the etiquette. Give us the lessons.
Well, you
Tell
can't
us,
ask me to
teach
do
us
that.
the ways.
You can't ask me to do that because I grew up. I grew up in a way where I could not insult you unless I'm actually angry at you. And when I play around, it's not trash talk because I'm fucking giggling at you as I'm telling you, "Oh, you suck hot ass at this game," and they're just like, we're all laughing like, I don't. But it's. I don't trash talk people. I just kind of sit there. If I don't know you, I'm shake your hand, play the game, move on. So it's hard to ask me to do that. But I've seen players like, oh man, my favorite is Wolf Crone and K Brad. It wasn't on TV, thank Christ. But they were on this E-League thing, and they're going back and forth and arguing to each other. And he was like, "I'm gonna beat your ass." And everybody heard that. They're like, "You just curse?" Okay, whatever. It's whatever. Ass. We can get over it. And then after they're arguing and stuff, and then K-Brad trying to explain himself, and he goes, "I don't give a fuck" on the mic, and it was like, "It's gonna be on TV." K-Brad, stop. Wolf Crone, stop. And it's just seeing them going back at each other is fantastic, and I love that. But I couldn't imitate any of their trash talk because I can't think of any. And right now, I'm sorry, I'm so hung. I never want to use that as an excuse, but I'm a little too hungover for me to to formulate a proper way to let you know how to verbally attack somebody in a fighting game with reason. Son.
I tried
Sorry.
to get him.
So
I-
what we got is Luciano is civilized, and he doesn't need trash talk to.
he
beat you.
uses his skill to beat your ass.
I also told Sasha he sucked before his match.
I mean, that counts as trash talk.
That
Oh,
does.
yeah, it does. It does.
It does. It does.
But told me, you know, I'm playing around. I'll be screaming at you in the back, like, man, you can spank his ass. And I've used character, man, you suck. Stop playing this game.
You know what story I actually want to tell?
What
The
story?
story about the money advantage story.
Can I tell it?
Please,
All
no,
right.
it's your story. That's why I was hoping we can get into
was
it.
getting some water.
This is why we have this podcast.
Got it. All right, check it. So PAX East, I want to say this is 2019. Say we'll say 2017.
I would say about 2 years ago. It's when we
2017.
first met, so it was about 2 years.
Well, because I never met you in person yet. I knew Ryan for years. I never met you in person.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So check it. 2017 PAX East. I wake up in the morning, get
Feeling
myself
like
cleaned up.
D&D.
I took a shower because I don't play Smash. I got ready. Went to the con.
Was that a jab at the Smash community?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is a whole other joke, but I'll get to that later. So I get cleaned up. I'm ready to go, and I go to the con. I go wait in line. I get upstairs, and I have my Mad Catz T2 Plus stick for Street Fighter 5.
You fucking nerd. No, I'm just-
I got it, man. I gotta have my baby, and I have it with the strap and everything, so it's kind of hanging off my back like a satchel. And people are like cackling and then like laughing to themselves. I was like, what the fuck is going on? They're pointing at me. Now I'm like, someone want to fucking talk or do I have to swing? And so I get to the table. No. I get stopped, and the guy goes, hey, you here to play Street Fighter? I'm like, yes, sir. You here to play Street Fighter with that? I'm like, yes, sir. I have my Street Fighter 5 arcade stick here to play Street Fighter 5 in your Street Fighter 5 tournament.
Sponsored.
Yes. Yes, that's what I'm going to do with this thing. I'm not shoving it up my own ass. I'm going to play with it. And he goes, well, you can't use it. And I was like, bitch, what? Excuse me? You tell me I can't use a Street Fighter controller to play Street Fighter? Nah, people see it as money advantage. Money advantage. But excuse me? And so I didn't want to leave the line because I still want to play Street Fighter. But I said, I'm gonna go back to the line now. And I went in and I signed up. And as I was getting to there, people are laughing at me still. Still, I don't fucking know why. People are laughing. I get to the table and it says no fight sticks allowed. And the lady is about to say, hey, you can. I was like, nope, don't tell me nothing. I can read. Signed my name, walked out. I took a picture of the sign though, and I walked out. And I told people, I was like, yo, what kind of fucking shit is this? You can't use a controller at PAX because it's money advantage. And it got to the FGC, and a lot of people were pissed off about it. And so now I'm sitting there trying to play Street Fighter 5 on pad for 3 hours because, man, adjusting is not fun. And I made a post to PAX like, in what world is playing with an arcade stick a money advantage? Our current reigning Capcom champion is an American who plays on a PS3 pad. For serious? After a couple of hours, I get a phone call. I get a bunch of phone calls. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Luciano, get your notifications. Because everybody got notifications. When you follow PAX, it's Twitter, you have the bell. Every tweet they put up, you'll get the notification for it. So my friends got the notification first, and they said, it shows that it was a direct response back to my post saying, Luciano, don't worry about it. We're changing the regulations now. But I didn't know about this until I heard, as I looked up, I hear, excuse me, everybody. I know it's only 10 minutes before the tournament starts, but fight sticks have been unbanned from the tournament. And I looked down, and then I realized what they said, and I was like, oh! And I got excited, and I fucked all of them up, and I got 4th place.
Wait, so what's the purpose of? I don't get why it's money advantage. Like,
People
is it
feel
because
the need that people feel like if you have an arcade stick, you bought a better controller, it makes it easier for you to play it, which is not true. People have played pad and spanked my candy ass all over the place. It doesn't matter. It's just people are Johnning. You know, in Smash Media, when you're making excuses, say don't be a John, no Johnning.
Yeah.
That's what that is. People are making up excuses because they don't play the game and they want to win some small tournament at a convention.
So they
But-
see the pad as or the fight stick as intimidation, essentially. Like,
Yes.
oh, this guy puts hours in.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like if you go to like a paintball or airsoft thing and like this one guy has all this gear and shit and he's ready to go and you're just like, oh fuck, that guy's gonna fuck me up. It's essentially the same thing. But if you put everyone on the same playing field, it's like, oh, maybe I have a chance now.
Exactly.
I gotta say that is my favorite Luciano story ever.
Which one?
The money advantage.
Yeah, so
it's my
I-
favorite story ever.
I still have the picture on my Google Drive for the money advantage. I was gonna print out. I was gonna make it a stick art and have money advantage on it. Have the note where it says it was banned. On the other corner, have the tweet where they said they unbanned the rule, and then just have money all over it, and then paint the stick green, and have that as an arcade stick. And whenever I went to PAX, it's money advantage.
If you ever start an org, you have to name it Money Advantage.
If you have a team, you gotta call it money advantage.
This gonna be in my back pocket now. Money. Oh yeah.
You might have to change your in-game name now.
Money advantage.
Yeah.
I might. I can do that for Dragon Ball.
Speaking of teams, do you ever see like a more organized team sort of structure?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Correct me if that's a thing already.
All right.
If there's like a team where like it's like you have, let's just say you have a team called Money Advantage, and then like you have one player who specializes in like in Dragon Ball, one who specializes in SF, one who specializes.
Yeah, it's plenty of teams like that.
Like yeah, so you could. Do you ever see yourself being part of a more formal situation like that?
Well, I mean, my team right now has that. We have we have one Smash player, or I think I'll say two. Yeah, I'll say we have one Smash player. We have 3 Tekken players. I'm the only Street Fighter player in our team, but I also happen to play Dragon Ball with another guy. We have people around any game in our team that can be played. So like 3 Tekken, 1 Street Fighter, 2 Dragon Ball, 1 Smash, 2 KI. Oh man, sorry, I almost burped again in the mic. 2 KI, 1 Soul Calibur, and then yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was just curious if that was like kind of the structure of how it worked, and you answered that question, so thank you.
I mean, so it would be different with every team. Someone could just have like only 1 or 2 players, and they want specifically for Dragon Ball, Street Fighter. Other teams could be like, hey, I want 1 person for each of these games, and then they'll do that. That's what Echo Fox did. They had 2 Tekken. They had 4 Tekken players, like 3 Street Fighter. 4. No, oh my God, Tokido, Justin Wong, Sonic Fox at the time, Chocoblanca, Momochi. Julio, they had like 6, 7 Street Fighter players, and then they started firing everybody.
But then Sonic Fox, wasn't he still playing under like, when he was playing Street Fighter, wasn't he still like, not maining, but like literally playing every other fighting game but like Street Fighter?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, Sonic Fox played a lot of games, but now he's focusing mostly on NRS and Dragon Ball, which makes sense considering he's good at both. And Skullgirls. He's never stopped playing Skullgirls.
I remember the first time I ever seen him play, I think it was in the North, I think 2016, and just hearing him take like 6 events, and it was just like, huh? This dude took 6 different games, like that's fucking insane.
He's a goddamn beast. He's a god.
Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
So, Lucy, that mic, whichever one you want to plug.
You're
Plug your
not
shit.
Sean Evans.
Plug my shit.
Plug
All
your
right.
shit. Where can we find you? Where are you gonna be next?
I'm gonna be inside
Can we
my
play
own
you
ass.
at-
I mean, sorry.
Can we play you at Dragon Ball and maybe get our ass beat?
So, all right. If I can plug anything, my team is Waypoint Gaming, New York. They were a small Lancer, but now we're more gearing towards an esports production team. So we'll talk more about that later. We're on socials as Waypoint Gaming NY or Waypoint GNY, I think it is for Twitter and Instagram. You'll have me, Luciano L. Lamore, on every social media. It could be just Luciano Lamore or Luciano L. Lamore. Depends on what version you're looking at. And everywhere. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and Facebook. Guys, forget anything? Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Yeah, it's all 5 of them. And then Tumblr.
Well, there you have it. We have a fighting game expert,
Thank you.
Luciano, on the show.
Thank you.
Also, friend of the show.
Yes, I am. Love you both.
As usual, you guys can follow us on Till Good Game Do His Part on Twitter.
That's cute.
You can follow me at HFrank. You can follow Troy at.
Choice of underscore, not Andre.
What?
We'll tell you a story.
We'll tell you off
podcast
the
about
podcast.
that.
But guys, thank you for listening. And until Good Game Do Us Part, we'll see you on the next episode, or talk to you in the next episode. Not
Bye,
see you.
girl.
Bye.
Yeah. And sometimes I like to think about holding your hands, Henry, and let you know how pretty you look. My God, such a handsome young man.
So hey guys, welcome.
Henry just got super uncomfortable. Welcome to another episode of Till Good Game Do Us Part. Your host Troy is here. Your host Henry is here.
What up?
And we got another guest.
In his sexy black and red jersey,
And my tutu as well.
we
Keep it-
have the
keep it in the back
wonderful,
pocket.
very, very classy Luciano.
What's up? How y'all doing?
Welcome to the podcast.
I didn't mean to kiss your mic.
It's okay.
Okay, good.
It's not
That-
really
that
my mic.
you,
It's
didn't-
Troy's
you didn't really
mic,
kiss. Oh, pause. You didn't really kiss my mic. You kissed the audience.
Your audience, sorry, I don't mean to push that onto you. It's a horrible gesture. I will shake your hand mentally. There, I'm glad we had this discussion.
So this is our third podcast here at PAX East.
Okay.
So it's been going pretty well. How's your PAX been going?
I'm tired. It's been a great experience. I don't ever sleep well, and that's every day for me, so it's nothing new. It's just I don't ever sleep well, and I force myself to stay awake from 6 a.m. until about midnight at a convention. where I'm on my feet most of the time, and they're screaming, which is why my voice is kind of gone.
So what have you been doing?
So my original plan was to come and record, and that was a bomb. No, but I definitely filmed some stuff from Dauntless. I already tried out Samurai Showdown, and I'm gonna go back tomorrow for some like footage. Gonna get really nitty gritty into it and talk to the devs about it. Besides that, I just hung out with Bandai. They're a partner of mine, so I'm always saying what's up, chilling with them, seeing out their games. They let me play Rad, and I'm gonna screw this name up. It's what was that? Man of Madame or Madame? I can't remember how to pronounce it. It definitely isn't the way it's spelled, but it's an interesting game. It's a horror game, and I like that Bandai's trying to out new avenues because we know Jump Force, we know the Dragon Ball, Tekken, One Piece, or the open world. I can't remember what it's called. World Seeker, that's what it is. We know that they stick primarily to anime games or Japanese stuff, but seeing Rad being done by Double Fine, the guys who made like Brutal Legends, and I think don't quote me on that, and seeing them work with another company to do this European horror game where it's a Chinese man running around with a gun speaking French threw me off. My God, and it's fantastic. It's an interesting experience, and I'm glad that Bandai let me touch it.
I mean, if we talk about a French guy in Japan, use
yeah.
Onimusha 3.
Damn, you're right. Damn, call me out.
Is that anime?
Is that really
you don't
anime?
know, you don't know
I
what
don't.
Onimusha is?
I don't.
So Onimusha is this samurai demon game that Capcom made. It was in that era where like Chaos Legion, Devil May Cry. I can't think of any other dungeon crawling or hack and slash Monster Hunter. There you go.
It was, if somebody's gonna correct me, but I think it was one of the other games that they were gonna try to, they were trying to make as like the Resident Evil competitor.
I thought that was Dino Crisis or something like that.
Something like that, and then it just evolved into its own game, and they're like, all right, cool. But yeah, Onimusha 3 had a French guy in Japan, while the Japanese samurai was in France. It was weird.
That is interesting.
But
So-
how do you feel about Samurai Showdown?
I like it a lot. It's very strange because the game is not the conventional fighting game. Normally, I expect. I'm sorry, you're
No, you're good. No, you're good. You're good. Because it's kind of gonna lead into my next question. So
Okay,
continue.
perfect.
sure.
So Samurai Showdown is a fun game. It's just weird because I didn't get to sit down and understand the mechanic. I kind of was just like, hey, go play the game. All right. Am I good yet? But it's a fun game. I love it a lot. I loved it more than I thought I would. It just definitely caught me off guard. The game is weird. It's not like a simple, we just press jab into medium or whatever. In most games, like Street Fighter, even Street Fighter has like a weird combination when it comes to combos, but it's a combo. I don't know how this game works yet, but I will try tomorrow to understand it, and I'm definitely gonna give it a try. I like it a lot. I definitely shouldn't have been eerie about it when I first heard about it being at Evo, because the more I play it, the more I like it, and I don't want to give it disrespect, because that's what I did with BlazBlue. I don't like BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, but I gave it respect, and it got 2 times at Evo, so. But yeah, Samurai Showdown, pretty fun game. It's fucking gorgeous. Can I say that?
Oh
What?
yeah, you could curse.
Oh, I can curse. It's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, it is actually a
Christ.
fucking gorgeous game.
Keeping it on fighting games and whatnot. That's kind of your forte. You just finished a tournament.
Oh.
How did that go? Now you don't tell us where you placed.
Oh no, I'll play.
But-
I got third.
Okay,
Which
that's
is
not
fine.
bad. That's not bad.
Because yesterday, Thursday was Street Fighter. I got second. Friday was Killer Instinct. I got second. And then today I was trying to take Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball was my main game. I got third.
Who is this guy just getting thirds and seconds? Like,
Did
yo.
you get a fancy medal?
No. This year they didn't do medals for under second place. It's only first and second.
Okay.
Which
So you have 3 medals now.
no,
for
2
second
medals.
place?
Two medals. Because again,
Oh, yeah,
Dragon Ball didn't have a
You got
medal.
third, yeah.
But tonight is Jump Force, and it's not like a traditional fighting game, but Bandai had me at their place for the first tournament they had, and I won that. So I told Bandai, hey, Jump Force is here, and they're like, oh, great, okay. And so one of them already went upstairs. She's like, when's Jump Force? I'm like, at 8 o'clock. She's like, I'll be back with the rest of my people. I'm like, oh, God. So they're like, you better win. We will take back that trophy if you don't. I'm like, no, please.
Just take it
I
back.
earned that trophy.
So I guess we can get a little bit into your history. What is, since we actually said in our last episode that we had, what was the first game you ever played?
The first game cognizant, I can't think of the word. The first game that I can recall ever as a human person that I can think of, was Pokemon Blue. I was at a cousin's house and she had that thick, brick game where you could bash someone's head in with, and she had Pokemon Blue in it, and half the screen was broken. So she's like, hey, you can keep it. And I was like, I can't even see how much health my opponent has. Well, at the time I didn't understand. I was like, whatever, it's a fun game. I definitely liked it. And we played Bomberman. Oh, it wasn't Pokemon Blue. That was the one I played the most. It was Bomberman on the
Okay.
Game Boy. That was the first game I ever played in my entire life. And I loved it. And I beat it with, again, only half the screen functioning. The other half, you couldn't see it.
So you had like half a childhood because you can only see half the screen.
yeah,
I mean, it was only like when I was like from 3 to I want to say 7.
That's a long.
You
ass
had a
time to
broken
not-
Game Boy for 4 years.
Yeah.
Your parents never were like, "Oh, we should give him a new one."
Well, I mean, because even when I was a child, I was just like, you know, I like my stuff, so I'm not gonna break it. And they said no, they see no reason because I was having fun with it the way it was. And then I got a Game Boy Color when Gold came out. There we go, because that was my next favorite game. That's actually I think my second or third favorite game of all time. Pokemon Go. I played it. I sat there for 14 hours straight, just bum rush that game. I loved it. I did all of Johto and half of Kanto all in 14 hours.
So, what was the first game that you were ever like competitive at? Like that, like you picked it up, you played it, you got good at it, and then suddenly like you found yourself, whether it was a fighting game and you were playing like your friends at them and just whooping ass or whatever, or you were just like, shit, I wanna fight people.
Well, so it's kind of hard story because I only got into like competitive gaming because I saw like when I was like 13, 14, that's when YouTube started like picking up for like the niche stuff. It wasn't like commercialized. It was just like, hey, come put your videos up. And at the time, we were just tired of watching Mega Man NT Warrior on YouTube. We were like, want to do something different. So I filmed and I started watching like Dayasha, sadly Darkside Phil, and I just watched him play Street Fighter 4, and I was like, I want to do that. Because I was already putting up YouTube videos, but I was like, I want to do that. I want to play Street Fighter. So I stopped focusing on video content and started playing Street Fighter 4. And I played a bunch of other games, but my first tournament ever in a fighting game was Street Fighter 4. At the 25th anniversary, I made top 32. First ever tournament, top 32. Remember, I got knocked out by Chris G, and I was like, I'm done. I'm good.
I mean, that's a good person to get knocked out by.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
I was happy. I was happy as hell.
What was going through your head like when you first at that first tournament and like you getting top 32? I mean, like first tournament top 32 is pretty big for a first tournament, and then to get knocked out by someone of the stature of Chris G. Like, what was just going through your head for like that event? Like, do you remember like?
I remember specifically, I fucked all y'all up, is what I said. But no, I remember just, I don't remember. I was happy that I placed well, and I was happy that I made friends, and I got to meet like Biggie and all those guys. Biggie Gaming, not Biggie from like WWE. They're both, I don't know why they share the same name, but they do. I just made a lot of friends, and it just took off from there. And then I placed in the Skullgirls tournaments. I got second in my first Skullgirl tournament when it first came out. I got second at a Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3 tournament when it first came out. What else did I do? I won an ARMS tournament. It was just like, after that, I just started playing. Like, it started being less Street Fighter and more all fighting games. And as much as I love Street Fighter 4 and it pioneered me to play like these fighting games so competitively, like, bless you, Street Fighter 4. My God, Street Fighter 5 is just, why Capcom? What the hell, man? What the hell are you doing?
What with you broadening from like just one game to a plethora of games within the FGC, do you think that the FGC is very open when new fighting games come out, or do people usually try to stick with, outside of like Street Fighter, which you know everyone's gonna like migrate to the next iteration? Do you think they're very open to bringing in new fighting games, or is it kind of just like, nah, stick to this and you'll be FGC?
It's a yes and a no. Because yes, of course, if it's a fighting game, it exists. People will play it. They'll have it up, and people will enjoy it and have fun and then play it. Whether it gets to a high competitive scene, it depends. For instance, Gundam versus, I was totally surprised, is heavy in a lot of fighting game majors and any other tournament scene that exists that's not just like fighting games. I did not know this, but something like Jump Force probably doesn't get as much, notoriety in the FGC. But with that said, of course, every new game comes out, there's always people like, yeah, it's great, and other people are going to be like, I don't want to play this. This looks like garbage. Why you, no. Like, Blaze Cross Tag is a perfect example. Cross Tag, by, I guess, company standard, everybody loved it. You know, people, like, it got into EVO. It was marketed to be part of EVO before its release. It was at every major. It's one of the few games that don't get canceled. I'm looking at you, Bandai. No, I'm going to stop. But BlazBlue has just been so successful, and a lot of people love it, and a lot of people hate it. I'm on the fence. I always like to talk shit about it, but I still respect it because my bro plays it. My twin brother plays it. My friend Reno, bless you, Reno. He won Win a Brawl with BlazBlue Cross Tag like last month. So there's games that'll survive BlazBlue, and there's games that'll die. Sadly, Killer Instinct. It's a fighting game that was well received, and now. It's like, I only think 2 majors carried a year. 2 guaranteed, like Combo Breaker and KRE8, I think, had it. Something like that. No more CEO, though. Don't know why. Come on, Jubilee, get on your stuff, man. That was a long answer. I'm sorry.
No.
This is totally what we want.
That's like an educating question
Yeah,
for someone.
no, that kind of answered like my question of like, what is your resume of fighting
Fighting
games?
games, I can tell you actually more in-depth resume.
Yeah,
I'm
go for
sorry.
it. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna give you all the small little itty bitty like local scene stuff. I made 11th place at Defender North my first time for Killer Instinct. I made 13th place at Winter Brawl that same year for Killer Instinct. I made 17th place at Winter Brawl for Dragon Ball Fighters this past month. Besides that top 32, I had a 25-year anniversary qualifier. What else did I do? I made top 32 at CEO for Killer Instinct. It's been Killer Instinct. I'm sorry. But I used to play a lot of games that are Alive, Virtual Fighter, Tekken, Skullgirls. I already said Marvel's Capcom 2 and 3, Marvel Infinite for